Hi, everybody. How are you today? Oh, hi, Spooky. How are you today? How's everyone? Yeah, crazy lately. So, yeah. Uh, we'll watch up until someone comes on. Yeah. Yesterday was crazy with uh, Dustin and them. It was crazy, 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 mazy, crazy, tazy, crazy, mazy. We'll watch up until someone comes on. Yeah.
Is from a village up north Greece, but I live in Athens for quite some time.
Nice, nice, nice.
Oh,
Have we spoke before?
No, uh,
No.
I got to already give you that. The guy has a very good accent in the way he pronounces the Greek words. It doesn't take much to see. There's a lot of people that claim to know Greek, and you hear them say a word, and it sounds like so weird. So have you been here?
No, but my Greek is not that great. It's not like the Greeks in Greece, right? Like if I go there, they're gonna spot my accent immediately
Ah,
because
yeah, okay.
it's not
There's
it's
always
no, it's not
you,
like yours. That's for sure. It's not like
yeah,
yours.
just like mine is in English. You can't get rid of the flavor.
Yeah,
But I think you would do fine. What with that little thing that I heard, I don't know how much more you can communicate.
it's not that. It's words. I don't know the words. A lot of the words that they use. It's that's I had studied Greek.
Huh?
And of course, when you don't use it, especially in North America, you kind of lose it. And so
Oh,
family members speak it a lot because they watch a lot of, shows and they're more in conversation and,
oh,
involved in the language.
that's awesome. That's great to hear.
I'm the only one who kind of backed away and
Um,
was told always, you got to learn it, you got to get back, you know?
one good thing if you ever visit around here is that the Greeks that don't know English to communicate, they will
Mm,
do their uttermost best to communicate. So even if you lack a couple of words, they will fill in the gaps. You know,
yeah. Well,
it's
who knows?
always it always feels to a Greek that somebody comes from abroad and knows some Greek. It feels like an honor to him to hear you talk Greek. So they will do their best to communicate. So you'll have
True.
no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had a problem when I used to go. But Gangster was saying you used to be Orthodox, but you're not anymore.
Um,
Am I right, or maybe
kind
I'm
of
making?
kind of complicated answer because I still consider myself Orthodox. It's just that the Orthodox Church should not be having the title Orthodox anymore. Because do you want to tell the world what it stands for?
Well,
So I don't.
ortho means ortho, which means true,
Correct. Or
and
true slash correct slash standing. Yes.
orthodoxia. Yeah, exactly. So, why do you think they should not have that title?
Because it has drifted a lot from the correct dogma. You didn't complete the sentence. It is correct
Hmm.
slash um, or standing. Ortho actually means standing, like standing on your feet instead of being cast around from the wind. Uh,
Right.
cor- so what it means is correct dogma, orthodoxia from the word dogma, which is translated exactly the same in English. So what
Yeah.
it means is correct dogma.
Yeah.
And yeah, where? Where's that?
So when you say where's that, what do you mean? Like, what have you found that kind of disproves that?
Where's the correct dogma? Because I'm not just in Greece, I grew up in Greece, and nobody ever told me how to get saved. I've been in many churches. I've had an upbringing in Greek schools where Orthodoxy or Christianity is supposedly getting taught. And what I learned was the hierarchies of the bishops and what you're
Wow,
supposed to
just like
hold,
yesterday.
what are you chanting, what day you're chanting that, why does
Same,
that day
man.
matter, and then countless lessons about saints.
Okay.
So the whole how to get saved discussion, I never had it, and I got I was a kid that, in contrast to other children at my age, I was very interested in the divine.
Okay.
So I started looking into it myself, and I started getting in churches. I was an altar boy, and still I had to make it to my 30s to get reborn / saved. And Orthodoxy had nothing to do with that. So
I find that a bit weird, but okay, go ahead.
I am very thankful to those that preach the word of God, and they happen to be Baptists, Pentecostals. I'm not going to tell you that Pentecostals don't have some error. They do, but not in doctrine. They have some, I'm not a fan of snake holding. I'm not a fan of tongues so much. Although I do believe it can happen, it just can't happen by ordering it. Like every Thursday we speak in tongues. I don't believe in that. So I'm not saying that they are completely correct, but they're closer to what we would call correct dogma. Orthodoxia is correct dogma. So I think that the Baptists, the Pentecostals are way closer to it. Nobody can be perfect, but if we are comparing, I think they're much closer to the word.
So, did you say that because you found more, you've been enlightened by the Baptists and the gospel, and because nobody else spoke to you in the Orthodox Church, maybe, or you
Well,
didn't have family or to discuss it with you. Maybe you were not brought up in a religious family, were you?
Oh, I know people though that have been brought up in religious families, and what they get is religious when I mean the daughter or the son of a priest. What they get is a lot of strict upbringing, but
Okay.
again, not so much concerning what are we doing here, how we can be saved. So even if they did it right in their own families, the job of the priest is not to preach to his own family and save his child. It's to, take it a notch further.
But again, everything you're saying, I've never heard of, me personally. So I was friends with 3 priests, was very able to get in contact with either one of them. If I had any information that I wasn't too sure about, I could have gotten that
All this stuff like
information
ancient history.
either after church or during
Crazy.
the week. I can go pick up the priest. I would do that, and we would go for coffee, and we would discuss. We would talk a lot on the phone. So, like, I find it a little bit hard to believe that you had no access to that in a country that is mainly Orthodox.
Right. This is
Cada
what
la
I
vez.
think. Yes. This is what he said. Did I understand? This is what I've been trying to help my fellow American Orthodox to let them know that you have the dealerships over there, but down here is the factory, right? And the factory has gone astray. The dealerships might be doing a good job because I know I have American friends who are going to Orthodox churches, and after the Eucharist,
Just
like
like yesterday.
so it kind of should be a little alarming, that they've gone astray.
Yeah,
So
I'm not going to disagree with is not doing their job. That's for sure. Actually, that's one of the big arguments that the people.
What's the matter, Saucy? What's going on? What's some new crazy stuff I made? For Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Well, Z then as the new pope. Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Well, what's some Bird Pie? We're all Bird Pie. What's that Bird Pie? That's not Bird Pie. We need to find Bird Pie. We all are Bird Pie now. Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Where is the Bird Pie? Bird Pie. Bird Pie. Bird Pie. There it is.
Because this moment time comes.
I don't think I cooked Bird Pie. I could go somewhere else. Ding, ding, ding.
Well, Brother Pike, he's a man of his word. Got his boots on tight, never looks absurd. But when it comes to summer heat, you never see him in shorts, no way not to be. Why don't I wear shorts? It's not my style, not my way. I like my pants long all day and night. Keeps me looking sharp, keeps me feeling right. Folks ask him why he don't show his knees. He just laughs and says, that's not for me. I got my Well, Brother Pike, he's a man of his word. Got his boots on tight, never looks absurd. But when it comes to summer heat, you'll never see him in shorts, no way not a beat. Why don't I wear shorts? Brother Pike would say, it's not my style, not my way. I like my pants long all day and night. Keeps me looking sharp, keeps me feeling right.
Well, watch what Truth Power had to say. Truth. Watch what he had to say about truth. A message of truth is a. Oh no.
Think about a child you
See what he
love.
talked about.
Now take away their clean clothes, access to water, and the roof.
Oh, yeah, we shouldn't condemn people for making a mistake because God is the God of second chances. God is the God of wiping your slate clean and giving you a second chance. But a second chance to do what's right. It doesn't mean a second chance to go make a mess of it again. We should take that clean slate and take that opportunity of grace to do better with the second chance. That's what it's there for. Your mic was breaking up. I think I heard most of what you were saying, Josh. I think maybe one of the brethren here had something. TS, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I don't think you're doing it intentionally. I think Josh is trying to express this, and if I'm not, Josh can correct me. But this is what I get too, because when you use language like he's given us a second chance, and then you kind of give this analogy of like, well, there can be someone that lies, but maybe not. They didn't mean it so insincere. They did tell a lie, but then the other person, they lied insincerely and they tell lies insincerely. So, when you say a second chance and then you kind of tag that on phraseology, what you're indirectly doing is saying is you're seeking a justification and a righteousness that would be of oneself individually through law performance. Because you're saying that.
Hi. But we think that video made it be a giant U on a church.
I haven't seen it. What are you watching? That Q&A from the other night?
I Actually, it's a clip from Truth Spower
okay.
show.
I think that
Sorry
guy's
about
in
that.
love with me.
But
I think he
hurry.
wants to marry me.
Oh, I commend you two
Look,
hugging and
he's
holding
pretty
hands.
obsessed. And the weird thing is, like, he selectively deletes my comments on his videos. Like, if I'm talking to him or one of his friends in the comment section, he deletes any of my comments where I'm, like, responding to people, and then he leaves the other comments. It's really weird. It's super
That's
weird.
I have a video of you, a giant U on a church. Is that funny?
That is probably funny. I haven't seen it.
I got a video. I have it where you as a priest chasing Sandman, getting revenge for the Orthodox Church, and you as a wizard.
That's good. That's good, Logan.
And a giant U on the church. He looked all confused on there. I always think of this. This is crazy. Is this I forgot. I think this is the second.
That guy drones on like. I believe that he could put a crackhead to sleep the way that he talks. And he's always like, the law performance, the Romans, and the Romans law performance, and the law Romans performance, law Romans. And he's always saying the same thing without saying anything.
Yeah, you know, Josh wanted to do a show with him.
God, that sounds like a very boring show.
It won't be a debate. It's going to be a teaching.
It sounds like if it was a debate, they would both lose.
It's crazy.
What are they going to teach? They don't believe in teaching. You can't tell people not to do wrong and to do right. They don't believe in that, so what are they going to teach?
I don't know. You have to ask Josh. He's the one asking me.
They can't teach nothing because they don't believe in nothing.
It was crazy. I have no idea. It was during that show that night. He wanted to ask. He asked me, could him and TS do a teaching together on there?
Oh God! The law performance, Romans law, that? Romans performance, law, Romans law performance. Thanks, TS.
He's a funny guy. He was in the comments of Miss Motter here. Aiden.
I wonder if he don't watch me sleep through my window at night. To be totally honest with you.
Yeah, it was crazy. This second one, he had another one. Is this the first or second one? I'm not sure.
6 or 7 videos in total about me now. It's like half of all of his content at this point.
I have only. I don't remember all of them, but I think this might be the second or third one.
I don't get it. Like people like him. Like if you don't want to be a Christian, you don't have to. Like nobody's making you. You know, if you want to go lie and cheat and steal and swindle and be a whoremonger or whatever, you can do all that. You know, if that's what you want to do, but just don't call yourself a Christian. You know, you can do all those wicked things if that's what you want to do.
Well, what if they want to call themselves Christian Pike?
Well, then they wouldn't do those wicked things because Christian Pike don't do those things.
Oh. What about Miss Mod did a show earlier, and Josh was on there. He's a crazy guy, Josh.
I mean, Josh is fine. You know, he's another one of those half troll guys, half serious, but he's fine. I mean, I can get along with him at least. TS is hard to even get along with.
Yeah, it's great. He agrees with you, I guess, about predestination.
Me and him have never discussed predestination, but I'd be willing to bet that he doesn't understand it, just based on how I see.
Yeah, he did a video about Steve Anderson. That's where I get, what? Oh, he disappeared. Oh no. Murder Pike! He disappeared. Murder Pike is a man of the word. Don't get his boots on tight, never look absurd. Murder Pike, where are you? We miss our Murder Pike.
That, well, it's a second chance. A second chance at what? At not lying and doing other sins. It's a second chance at trying to keep the law, because sin is transgression of the law. And the scripture says, all you who seek to be justified by the law have fallen from grace. You've been severed from Christ. And that would be including any sin. And or you're saying, well, I don't do sin, therefore I'm justified. That is seeking a justification by law. That's how Paul would parse it out. Like people that are seeking a justification through the law look to the law and their performance to see if they're justified. And that's why he said we maintain a man is justified by faith apart from the works of the law. That a person has a non-guilty verdict by their faith, independent from law performed. What we get when we hear, and I'll just wrap it up with this, when we hear you say second chance, this is a second, and I don't believe it's a second chance. I believe it's truly, truly, I say to you, whoever hears my words and believes in him who sent me has everlasting life. They shall not come into the judgment. They have passed from death to life. That the one who believes is a possessor of eternal life, and they have passed from death to life, won't come into the judgment because they're justified, not guilty verdict people apart from the law. But in your system, I can't see how people could ever conceptualize where they're passed from death to life and won't come in the judgment as justified, not guilty people currently, because they're looking at, well, this is a second chance, and I better to. When you accuse people of saying you're adding it on, you and I both know that I have like way more scripture than you do, so you should word that differently. Well, no, I don't. That's a lie. I don't know where you got that in your mind. I used a lot of I don't think you have more scripture than me. I think that's completely fallacious. I think the things I'm bringing up are things that you'll never talk about. That's my point. I read hold on. I'm still in my time. I read the entirety of Romans 2, 3, and 7 tonight, by the way, TS. Discretion of the law. And so you're saying he's giving you a second chance to keep the law better. And that is, in my opinion, in my view, you're not judging the flesh, because in the flesh no good thing dwells. And the diagnosis of the law is that everybody is guilty and nobody can be justified through it. So you haven't judged yourself in terms of seeing yourself guilty before God, and then the only avenue for salvation is through faith in Christ alone. And that's why it's to the one who doesn't work, but believes on him who justifies the ungodly. His faith is. If I had to, keep conditions of the law, and lying isn't the only one, because I know there was other conditions, and you know it too. So it's not just thou shalt not lie, and I better not lie insincerely, but it's I better not lie. It's apparently I better not even lust in my heart after seeing a beautiful woman can make me guilty under the law. So what you're saying is he's giving you a second chance to do better under the law, and this is the clarification and the stringency of it. So you better do better than you did before, but all you who seek to be justified by the law have fallen from grace, have been severed from Christ. The law is not how a person is justified, and that is what you're getting people. Do you see what I'm saying? At least, even if you don't agree, you see the argumentation I'm pointing out here. All right. Have I ever, in your presence or on any teachings, ever said that people are justified by the law? Have I ever said that? It would be by direct implication. There's a lot of things that people can mean and say without by implication. And for clarification, no. Well, when we talk about salvation, we are talking about justification stuff. We're talking about a person cannot be saved unless you're justified. Like the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God, but such were some of you. You were washed, you were justified, you were sanctified. That you have to be righteous and justified in order to inherit the kingdom of God, right? You'd agree there? Mm-hmm. Right. So the avenue that the Bible presents is that God made him who knew no sin to become sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him, and that the law actually shows us our necessity for Christ, that the law is a schoolmaster to lead us to faith in Christ. Once you've been justified by faith, you're no longer under the schoolmaster. So the law is a schoolmaster to show a universal guilty ruling against all humanity, their necessity to be justified by faith apart from the works of the law. They come to Christ, they're justified, and then they're no longer under the law with its guilty ruling. So in other words, it's not a second chance under the law. Like if you were under the law, it would be, okay, you got a second chance. We'll see how you do. Make sure you don't lie insincerely.
In light of the clip that was just played, I want to talk about how salvation is not a second chance. That salvation is not a second chance at you trying to keep the law better than you did in the past. And a person that has that mentality hasn't judged the flesh. They haven't recognized that the wages of sin is death, and what they deserve is a second chance. They deserve to die. There's no redeeming quality in the flesh by which redemption can be produced. Paul says, I know in my flesh.
Oh, this is. Oh, that's the first. The second one is this one. How many videos does he have? Brother Pike? 2, 4. At least 4 right now. That's like another one he mentions, Brother Pike. Oh, 5, 5, 5. 5. 6. Oh, that's just my faith alone. Oh. 6 of them. At least sound count of like a little mention of him in a video. Oh. 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 6, I would say. Who's there? Oh! Hi, Clay!
Hey,
How's Clay day today, Clay?
good. It's nice as hell out.
Oh, that's nice.
It's nice.
What you been doing there, Logan?
It's my
Watching TV?
wedding anniversary on Mother's Day. So I'm excited because I'm pretty sure my wife got me a gun.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You love guns, don't you? Do
Yeah.
you marry guns?
Yeah. They're my favorite. Well, I like guns and I like Kubota tractor stuff, and then I like Chevy pickup truck stuff.
Oh.
And then also fishing, but
You type of
that's my hobbies.
gods and guns and country.
My hobbies is like
Is that it?
trucks and tractors, and then like fishing and hunting stuff.
Oh. Who you hunt? The most worstest game in the world?
Clay.
Man. Yourself?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I like deer hunting, but I like small game hunting too, especially bird hunting.
Oh. Would you ever hunt Tim?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like the Juggalo song, Who's Going Chicken Hunting? What is Tim?
Oh. But how you been today? How's your work?
Good. Good. I'm tired
That's
though. I
good.
got up at like 3, and I couldn't sleep last night till like 10:30, 11. It's like, man, this shit sucks. Then I gotta do a bunch of shit all weekend, so I'm not gonna be able to sleep in.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that's nice.
Well, what about you? What you up to?
Not so much. Have you ever heard of this guy named Brett Kane?
I think so. I don't know him, but I've heard that name before.
Aiden later on today is going to do a review show of him.
What's that one guy's name? Ryan something?
I don't know why.
The one from used to be a minister.
Used to be what? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Crazy little guy, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Know what they say? Know what they say? Don't be a sad Lupin. Be a happy Lupin. See? Yeah, Bird Pie does it for your shorts. Cause he's Butter Pike. Butter Pie. Butter Pie. We're watching Butter Pike song.
Well, Brother Pike, he's a man of his word. Got his boots on tight, never looks absurd. But when it comes to summer heat, you'll never see him in shorts, no way, not a beat. Why don't I wear shorts? Brother Pike would say, it's not my style, not my way. I like my pants long all day and night. Keeps me looking sharp, keeps me feeling right. Folks ask him why he don't show his knees. He just laughs and says, that's not for me. I got my reasons, sure you'll see. Pants are just better, they're made for me. But why don't I wear shorts? Brother Pike would say, it's not my style, not my way. I like my pants long all day and night. Keeps me looking sharp, keeps me feeling right. Maybe it's the sun, maybe it's the breeze, or the thought of grass stains on my knees. Whatever the case, whatever the cause, Brother Pike don't wear shorts, and that's just because. Why don't I wear shorts? Brother Pike could say, it's not my style, not my way. I like my pants on all day and night. Keeps me looking sharp, keeps me feeling right. So take a lesson from
Yeah, we sick of that great old Brother Pike country music. Get ready to marry your cousin. But good old Brother Pike. He takes on Truth Speller and others. Good old Brother Pike. Let's see some more. Paul Washer, he washes people. Sure, the wolf. Let's see what he had to say about him.
Are you really going to miss this?
We do this training once a year. There's 800,000 to 1 million people that'll join us, and it's an opportunity.
Through a faulty interpretation of the book of James. Now here you'll see Matt Slick say that he agrees with Catholics and Eastern Orthodox when it comes to the interpretation of the book of James. So however one interprets the book of James, they should not interpret it in such a way that it's actually going to negate the justification that we have by faith alone and then place people under the law, and that's what Matt Slick does with this clip here. And after I play this clip and talk about it a little bit, then I'm going to read some things out of the book of James and talk about it, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the clip.
Faith, if it has no works, is dead being by itself. And of course,
Man, he's such
we
a
would agree
slut.
as Protestants. Yeah, if you have faith, let's see the works that are accompanying that truth.
Someone told me recently that he reads out of the John MacArthur Study Bible, and he's somewhat of a John MacArthur fan. And he comes across like a Lordship Salvationist Calvinist. I came across this clip, and I found it very infuriating, where he's calling people disobedient, selfish, and that they're doing something evil if they don't go to church.
Amen. I stopped going years ago. I spend every day at the foot of Jesus. We walk and talk 24/7. He is my whole life. I stopped going years ago. What's this sermon about? Not going to church. That is literally disobedience. Okay, I have a video recently about why it's mandatory to attend a local gathering of believers, okay, consistently. Of course, you can miss every now and then because you're sick or whatever. But biblically, this is what it says. Not forsaking our own assembling together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, right? The church is meant to build itself up in love. You don't go to church because you want your fill, you want to feel better about yourself, blah, blah, blah. No, you're there to love other people. You are supposed to go to church for other people. It is selfish to not want to go to church. It is evil to not want to go to church. I don't go to church, but Yeshua, my love and King, walks with me all day, every day. You have to wonder if these comments are also AI generated. Selfish to not want to go to church. It is evil to not want to go to church. Evil to not want to go to church. I don't go to evil to evil.
It's evil, not the. It's evil, evil, not going to church. Evil, not to go to church. Evil, not going to church.
This is how much more sore the punishment.
I've never even heard somebody say that before. He was saying that what Paul meant was to continue going to the temple to make sacrifices.
Oh, so I remember. So
See?
If you're a Christian, middle-class American between the ages of 30 and 70, and you're looking to earn some extra income.
Hello, brothers and sisters. God bless you. I hope your night or day is going good. Everything's going great with you. I've been going over the book of Hebrews, and I've really been blessed by going over this book. And in my mind, I know that a lot of people, when they think of the book of Hebrews, all they think about is, if we willfully sin after receiving the knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sin, but a fearful expectation of a fiery judgment that will devour the adversaries. And the most they get out of Hebrews is they think that, well, the Bible is teaching that if I commit any kind of willful sin, there's no longer a sacrifice for sin. And also, he will chastise believers for sin. In Hebrews chapter 12, if you commit any kind of sin as a believer, he's going to chastise you for the sin. Well, which is it? Is he going to chastise you for the sin, or is there no longer a sacrifice for sin? And false teachers perpetuate this problem where they proof text certain verses and don't consider context. And most of what you hear about Hebrews chapter 10 is just verse 26. They don't really go into the context and tell you what is being said here. So they just usually bring up verse 26, if we willfully sin after receiving the knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sin. And they use this verse to try to put you back under the law in such a way that if you commit a single infraction, one sin, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sin. And if you look at it that way, if that's the interpretation you have.
Wow. Well, look around more. See what Lupin's up to. Lupin, Tupin, takes up Lupin. Oh. 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 Yes. On. Back. Watching stuff from the back then. Oh. Watch out. Robot guy. Get down. Hi! Look at him. He's dancing. He's dancing. Oh, it's crazy stuff. Can anyone get good as Daniel Newman that day? That's not. Mama. By Twinkle Hot by Jay Dyer. Who's Jay Dyer? Is it Dye people? It dies in here? Look at him getting down. Look at crazy stuff. No one can dance as good as Daniel Newman. Get on, Daniel Newman. It's great. Daniel Newman. He's a crazy Newman. Which what? Dustin the Buck's here. Hi, Dustin.
Bro.
It's as good as
Bro, this is the jam right
No.
here.
Yeah. Can you dance as good as him?
I think an epileptic whore would could dance as good as him.
See?
I can't dance. I don't have rhythm.
Hurry. But Daniel Newman can. He's a robo dancer. What about you?
I don't know. I can do the vertical mambo pretty good, but other than that,
Daniel Newman. He's a crazy little guy. But how you been today, Dustin?
chilling. Been moving some dirt. I'm gonna go have some lunch. I'm gonna go over to Payne. What are we doing today? What's the game plan?
TTOR's here.
I sure
TTR.
am.
Hi, how are you been, buddy?
Oh, doing good. Just living the life in my new home.
Now this is
nice.
the atheist TTR.
No.
Okay.
That's funny.
I'm just trying to find out who I'm talking to. That's all.
That's right. He's I know him a long time, a while from Brad and them, and yeah, I remember you for a long time.
Yep, that is true. Been busy for a long time. But yep, I am definitely not an atheist, as my internet history proves.
Yeah, a younger creationist.
No, I'm not a gatekeeping Christian, bro. If you claim you're a Christian, you're a Christian.
Oh, TTOR. Would you ever debate Big Bad Mama?
I've never had an incentive to before.
I did. Did you catch our review yesterday?
No.
That was a good one. Missed out.
What did Big
whole...
Bad Mama do that would make you think I should debate them?
He's a evolutionist, I guess.
Right, I was under that impression already, but is there something new that they did?
Yeah, no. I'm not sure. What does Dustin think?
I think that Gigi just likes the idea of debate, and when two people are on opposite sides of the coin for an argument, then he gets real interested in seeing it play to fruition.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I could see, because my understanding of Gigi is that he values your intelligence roughly that of Big Bad Mama. He wants to put it to the test.
Yeah, you are a genius.
I wish I was.
Yeah, I remember that one video you did before. It was a while ago about superheroes in the Bible.
Oh yeah. I did that live stream I want to say 4 years ago, 3 years ago. No, I think it was 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, it's just a concept that was explored by M. Night Shyamalan in some of his movies. Basically, superheroes are just an exaggeration of people that really existed in history. Like a big exaggeration. But if you look at characters in the Bible, if you look at people in the Bible like Samson, a real living, breathing person who was one of Israel's leaders way back in the day, a lot of the things that happened in his life are actually mirrored today in common superhero tropes, including the tropes about the hero being a womanizer who succumbs to lust with bad women. That comes from people like Samson, who really struggled with that, while at the same time having superhuman abilities that were given to him by God in key moments.
By his short and curlies, you mean? Well, no, it's interesting you bring up that movies are replicating the heroes of the past, because we find the Matrix bastardizing.
I brought up the movies because they teach I brought up the movies that M. Night Shyamalan did, Unbreakable, Split, and Glass, because the principle that's being communicated by those movies is true. The principle.
That movie Man of Steel, I heard was supposed to be more like based on more like towards Jesus, I guess. I remember hearing.
We're
Have
talking
you heard of
about
that?
the one with Henry Cavill, right? In 2013.
Yeah.
I didn't get that impression from it. Although that was the best Superman movie ever when it came out.
Yeah, it was great. I heard people try to say it was based around Jesus or Moses.
Well, there is a Messiah trope that people like to put in certain films that do relate to Jesus, but that's only in a very superficial sense. Like you look at The Matrix, for example, they try to portray Neo as a Messiah figure, but when you watch the films, you realize that he really wasn't a Messiah figure. He was really just another controlled pawn at the very heart of things. He had to step outside of that in order to break that cycle. Primarily in the third movie, when he went to the Machine City and struck a deal with the machines where if they allowed him to help them defeat Agent Smith after he had taken over the Matrix, then they would not destroy all the humans again like they had done many, many times before. Of course, anyone viewing this, if you haven't seen the Matrix movies, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I have. The newest one was alright.
The newest one was very lackluster compared to the original trilogy. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything new either. Plus, some
Since
of the
when does
storylines
Neil
were
Patrick
kind of silly.
Harris? Since when does Neil Patrick Harris belong in the Matrix?
Well, probably when he appeared in one of the Predator movies.
He was in one of the Predator movies?
Oh no, wait,
Which
that's that other guy. Never mind. That's the guy
Yeah.
from the '70s show. Neil Patrick.
I get him mixed
Harris,
up too.
Yeah, Neil Patrick.
He was
Harris
in
was
How I
in,
Met
How
Your
I Met Your
Mother.
Mother.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother. He played the gay guy who's actually gay in real life.
Joyful and Happy?
Yeah.
But TTOR, yeah, I've seen a lot of your videos lately. They're good.
Thank you.
Like you're like these other ones you've been doing, and they're pretty good. I remember that one video, the first one you did. That guy Bruce came on. It was crazy.
Oh, the
He's
King James guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
I refer to him as
that
the
was a
Twinkie
pretty-
Man.
Yeah, he's a crazy nut.
You
Well,
should play
when
that
you
short
hear
where
him-
I'm singing to him, Gigi.
Well, when you are a King James onlyist, you end up adhering to really silly arguments in order to maintain your worldview on that issue. Like the Isaiah 7:14 thing that he brought up.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy. He's definitely King James only. He thinks all the other books are evil, I guess, and he's always been a crazy guy. He calls everyone heretics.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the King James Bible is the only legitimate translation. Just never mind the fact that the translators themselves said that future versions of their work would be done and would be improving on their work, and they were just fine with that. But no, we can't have modern English Bibles being based on better and more manuscript evidence and have better translations. No, that can't be the case.
Wait, hold on. What is the major contention you have with King James? Is it one or is there multiple? Can you distill it down to a major contention?
Wait, huh?
What is your your contention with the King James? Can you distill it down to one?
I have No. See, I don't have a problem with the King James Bible. In fact, half the time that I'm reading my Bible, I am reading from the God Bless the USA Bible that Donald Trump recently promoted, a Bible that is literally a King James Bible. So it's not the King James Bible I have a problem with, it's King James onlyists, the people who make silly arguments claiming that it's the only legitimate English translation. That's where the problem comes in. It's not with the King James Bible itself.
It's the English, it's the language it's translated to.
Nope, it's the people who make dumb arguments about the King James Bible.
Okay.
The King James Bible itself, no problem with it.
That's completely fair. I understand your argument.
Oh, TTOR. Yeah, it was crazy. Do you know Brother Pike?
Brother Pike.
Brother Pike. I think I've seen him once or twice, maybe even in a live stream that I've been in. Why?
Yeah, he's a crazy buddy too. He comes on here a lot too. He's my VP. Yeah, he's a crazy guy too. Do you think Dustin? Yeah, it was crazy. Have you ever met Dustin before?
I feel
Dustin
like
Buck?
I've met Dustin a couple of times in streams.
I think we've had a few arguments. Yeah, I think so. There's not very many people I've met online I haven't argued with, GG.
What about me?
We've had our arguments, GG.
What about you and Brett King?
Right, because Brett Keane and I get along. That totally tracks.
Dustin, he gets in fights with everybody.
I do.
Even
I don't. Really, a lot of my arguments are just because I don't want to agree with myself.
Yeah, he's a crazy
Well,
guy.
I've heard about internal dilemmas before, but that takes it to a whole new level.
Well, what do you think people are alcoholics about, bro? It's easier to deal with the alcohol than it is the internal conflict.
I see. Check out that.
TTOR. Do you know the original language like Greek and Hebrew?
Nope. I'm just an ordinary American. Don't have any special education in ancient languages.
What do you think of Orthodox and Catholic?
Oh gosh, the Catholicism thing that's been sweeping through the internet lately has been a headache for me. But I did study Catholicism a little bit, like 11 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. Basically, the Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches that we can become gods just like God, which is an obvious problem scripturally because we all know that we're not God, that we're not anything like Yahweh, as the Bible describes Yahweh. And the other problem I have with Catholicism, just off the cuff, is that they literally deify and worship Mary. They prescribe divine attributes to her that are God's and God's alone. They basically put her in the way as another mediator between us and God, when it's supposed to be just Jesus who mediates between us and God, but then they put Mary in front of Jesus, so now you have to go through Mary, and you have to go through Jesus, and then you can get to God. That and their rejection of sola
then
scriptura
suddenly they
is a real
started slipping
problem.
the church in there.
And then their rejection of sola scriptura, that concept, that also is a problem. As a matter of fact, that Sarah Stock girl that's been getting more popular on Twitter lately, she recently became a Catholic, and she had this whole article explaining why, and most of the reasons were bad. Really bad. As a matter of fact, I really should make a video response to it because it's that bad. But basically, she literally doesn't like the idea of scriptures alone. She loves the idea of having traditions and men interpreting the Bible for her instead of letting the scriptures interpret itself like you're supposed to.
Okay,
It's
so
really,
just playing devil's advocate. Okay, I'm not the saying that I agree with this, but wouldn't it be safe to say that because it was man that was inspired to write the Bible, that it would take the inspiration of a man to interpret it.
The New Testament has a section in 2 Peter which specifically says that the authors of the books of the Bible were divinely inspired and they were used as instruments to write God's written word to humanity. So
Correct.
it wasn't, and it specifically says that it's not by their own interpretation or understanding of things that they wrote down what they did.
No, but it would be to an interpretation to read it and then explain it to others, wouldn't it?
The problem with that argument is that the early church fathers who came right after the disciples, they have issues with properly understanding scripture themselves, especially with their hostile relationship toward the Jews after they put Jesus to death on the cross.
You're speaking the quiet part out loud right now, so don't do that.
Well, it's just read their writings. It's because a lot of people claim that their replacement theology beliefs come from the early church fathers, those who believe in like replacement theology. And so the early church fathers obviously got that part of the Bible wrong, because you can read the scriptures for yourself and realize that the Jews are co-heirs in the kingdom of God, along with Gentiles who accept the gospel. And you also see in the book of Acts that many of the people who put Jesus to death, in terms of the angry mob that make that happen, thousands of them got saved after that. So to have a hostile attitude toward the Jews over the way they treated Jesus in the first century is really stupid scripturally. I mean, there's no kinder way to put that. And yet today, here we are, 2,000 years later, we have a growing segment of so-called Christians who are embracing this hostile attitude towards Israel and Jews in general.
Didn't the centurion, the executioner of Jesus, didn't he find salvation very shortly after?
I don't remember it saying that in the Bible, but if it's recorded in some other first century history, that might be possible.
I believe that's actually correct. I don't remember. I want to say I read that in the Bible. I don't know. I don't have that good of a memory.
Well, I know that it says in Matthew that the centurion and those under him who were guarding Jesus, they saw the earthquake happen and they saw the dead people rising after Jesus, gave up his spirit. And they are the ones that proclaim surely he was the Son of God. That's in the Bible. But as far as like full-blown salvation for the centurion and his house, as far as the ones who are guarding Jesus, no, I don't think that's in there.
Dustin, Cece, I want to know what you had for lunch.
Chicken.
Is it
I
brain?
usually have chicken for lunch.
Yes, TTOR is a reformed zombie.
But yeah, long time no see, buddy. I'm glad to have you on here. Have you met Missing Maud?
You don't remember the old days of a few years ago? I used to be in live streams of her all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she had a show earlier too.
I was told that by you, yeah. I was busy doing things earlier, and I'm going to be busy doing things after too.
Thanks so much for coming on here. I want to ask you something. Have you ever heard of this lady named AOC?
Who hasn't?
She's crazy.
She's a good old socialist.
She thinks that climate change is caused by racism.
Yeah, they think a lot of things are caused by racism.
Well, you take the color out of oil and then you burn it. I mean, that's kind of racist to me.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
What? That's what you do with oil. You take the color out of it so that it's clear, and then you burn it. It's like there's not much more to racism than that. I don't think.
You're crazy. But TTOR. Hey, have you ever seen this one superhero movie Brightburn?
Isn't that the one that's a horror film and basically it's like, what if Superman
Yeah.
was a bad guy instead of a good guy? Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen parts of it and I've seen reviews of it, and it does sound like a pretty funny or creative take on that. And I remember there was a hint at the end of the movie that there were like evil versions of the other superheroes.
Yeah.
That would be
I saw that.
that would be an interesting movie for me to sit down and watch all the way through sometime, and then that would be an interesting world that they should explore in the future, like actually fleshing out all these different horror versions of these superheroes and how they're humanity's greatest threat instead of their greatest protectors. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that at the movies. It was a good movie. Come on me if Dustin if he was a superhero. I'm joking.
I'm just a normal guy.
TTOR.
Oh, hey, look, Smoky Saint still exists.
Saint's Taint?
That's what he said.
Saint's Tainton?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's out of what's the word? I'm surprised that he's out on probation. I'm
The
sure you remember
revolving
that
door
whole-
of the prison system.
I'm sure you remember Gangster Ghost, that whole ordeal a few years ago when Smoky Saint and Kenny Rhodes were busy running cover for Smoky Saint's pedophilia that he was arrested for.
Oh. Yeah, that was a while ago. I don't remember when that
That was,
happened.
I think, I want to say either 2021 or 2022, right around that time frame. But yeah, he's got much bigger issues to deal with than old versus younger of creationism at this point. Although I never did respond to that giant video he made to me a while ago. Now that I know he still exists, I might have to revisit that and see what he said. Maybe even respond to it. But it's hard to care about people like Smoky Saint when you're busy doing what I do with... oh, it's not slander, Smoky Saint. We got all the evidence from back then, all on video.
Please find yourself an attorney. Find yourself an attorney. File your charges because this is a public forum, and let me slaughter you in court.
And speaking of slandering people, I remember the time where he accused me and Brett Keane of being terrorists. I have that on video on my own channel. So, yeah, I'm not impressed by him at this point. But it's hard to care about Smoky Saint when you do all that I do these days. I mean, aside from my own content creation of TTOR, you got my full-time job where I'm a TV producer, and I'm busy running Quarter, my own video sharing site, and Creation Social, my own Facebook alternative. And I'm exploring expanding the infrastructure of Quarter right now. So it's really hard to care about Smoky Saint too much at this point. I just got a lot going on. Plus, I'm here on Gangster Ghost Show. Infinitely more interesting.
It's Satan's Tainton, man. It's not Smoky Saint.
As a matter of fact, give me 1 second. Maybe we can make this stream just a little more interesting. Go into my channel. Let's see. Skip that one. Let's see. I know there's more. Ah, here we go. This is the one where he accuses me and Brett Keane of being terrorists. Cool. Okay. I'll just go ahead, Gangster, and since you're the host, I'll let you decide if you want to play this or not. Oops. Hey. My computer's trying to stop me from sharing things with you. If you want to run that video on the stream, you can, Gangster Ghost. That's just the video where he accused me and Brett of being terrorists without any evidence.
Oh.
Smoky Saint, TTOR, you are one of the dumber ones. You know that is why you run from all debates. You always embarrass yourself. That's so funny, Smokey.
Same here.
Because
I mean, if
I
he
don't
could behave himself for, I don't know.
Can you pause
Okay.
that for a sec?
Yeah.
I don't run from all debates. I just don't participate in debates in general. Now, conversations where you go back and forth, that's another thing. I'm happy to have those, but like debates of the formal kind, I don't really do those. There's not much point in doing them. Okay, so now you can start the video from the top.
Yeah, I would like to have actually sit down with him and actually have a conversation with him.
Well, I need to tell you something. This guy,
yeah,
John. I need bad news about it. He got. It was I think last year he got arrested live on YouTube.
He did. For what?
Yeah. I don't know. He was at McDonald's, and they said he had a gun or something. I don't know. It's been a while. I got the clip of it. It was crazy.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting to know. You may now resume.
If it's possible.
Same here. I mean, if he could behave himself for, I don't know, a minute, I'd like to have a conversation like that too. I'm totally on board for that.
If you're wanting to come in, Kenny, and have a discussion, we can do that. We can try to have us a talk. It looks like Smokey's wanting to talk. Oh goodness.
Boy.
What do you guys think about that? Does that sound like that's going to be fun?
Well, I guess we can give him a chance and see if he does a repeat of the Kylo Ken act.
He might be able to show us the edification of Jesus we've been talking about. All right, let's see what we got. Let me go ahead and put you up on the screen here. Let's see. Let me put something so we don't have a big old problem here. Okay.
Oh no!
There we go. There. We go.
Oh, yay! No one has to look at my ugly face.
Well, I'm gonna probably.
I was like, come on,
is
Brady,
this
you
the
got a
actual
big screen,
smoke? Oh, is this the actual Smoky Saint, or is someone using his avatar?
It is me.
All right. So what's going on there? Are you going to teach us about Jesus getting us straightened out with God on things, or do I get a prayer for death?
Well, I don't really pray for death. I usually pray for justice. But I actually did have a question.
Sure. I got a question for you as well, Smokey. Why don't you prove everybody wrong and just simply come up on camera on your show and say, that's not me. I wasn't on the Jesse Peterson
Well, I already
show.
did. Well, actually, I already did that a long time ago, and it still didn't change anything. So I don't negotiate with terrorists and sycophants.
Oh,
So
well, why
what
don't
I
you go
want-
ahead to your camera now? That way we can verify.
Is that what you're talking about?
Uh-huh. Keep going, though. Let's watch this all the way through.
Well, like I said, I already did that, and I don't negotiate with terrorists, and didn't change anyone's mind. Well, it changed some people's mind, but then other people still wanted to go on the same bullshit. So I just don't negotiate with the bullshit anymore. So.
All right, I tell you what, there, Smokey. When you're ready to have some fucking balls, you pussy, and
had
you
a
want to show
question.
yourself on camera, you let me know. Type in the comments when you're ready to show yourself on camera. Until then, you're not welcome here, you fucking pedo. See ya. All right, let's see what we got. If he's not going to show himself, I ain't interested.
I mean, if he can show himself before, why not show yourself again? I mean,
What's the problem?
and so what if it doesn't change some people's minds? That's how the world works, Smokey. People either will change their minds or they won't, and if they won't, so what? Thank you for watching this video.
There you go.
If you like what you saw and you want to help,
TTOR still doesn't get it. Well, you kept using the word terrorists to describe me and Brett in the context of the conversation, so you're the one who doesn't want to get it. You did accuse us of being terrorists a few years back. You're lucky I'm not vengeful.
Wow. Wow, that was crazy. Is that all?
Yep, that's all.
Oh, you want
just wanted to prove that he really did accuse me and Brett of being terrorists a few years ago. Plus, the whole reason why Brett was asking him to show his face is because back in like 2019, there were a few occasions where Smoky Saint would show his actual face on camera, and then people realized that he was the exact same guy who was arrested for pedophilia activities in, I think it was California. I don't remember the state he was in. But yeah, so once people started connecting those dots, Smokey decided to stop showing his face on camera. And that's why people kept challenging him to show his face and prove that he is not the guy from those arrest records. Of course, we already know the truth. We've already had the voice analysis done from when he went on Jesse Lee Peterson's show and compared to the times he was on Brett's show in the past. Same voice, same guy. So his dancing around that, not just coming clean about that, was quite pathetic. I'm not lying, Smokey. Just because.
Why don't you bring your punk ass on here
Just,
and start putting some evidence up that this dude's lying, instead of just lobbing shit in from the comment section. Smokey.
I am speaking off the cuff. I don't have the material directly in front of me, but I have seen all that material.
Well, no, but you can only hear the same thing from so many people before you have to give it validity. Now, if you have something that can counter what he's saying, get on here, Smoky Saint.
Right, good
Satan's tainting piece
good
of
evidence.
shit.
Always.
But until then, well, unless you have witnesses.
I just believed a story that I heard online. Oh, yeah. Just ignore the fact that the person in the arrest record is literally you. Never mind, he looks exactly like the person who appeared on Jesse Lee Peterson's show, which was you, Smokey. Hey, Big Bad Mama, I see you too. Yeah, I mean, I didn't give Kent Hovind any mercy for his enabling of Chris Jones, so I'm not going to go easy on you, Smokey. And yes, you do have to prove your innocence, especially when there's an arrest record with your mugshot on it, and it confirms that you're the person who was on Jesse Lee Peterson's show. Yes, you do have to prove it, Smokey. No shifting of the burden of proof.
Your TTOR. Hey, I owe you an apology.
You do?
Yes, I do. It just came. Yeah, it just came to me. You were there at the Kent Hovind debacle of what's his name?
Chris Jones?
Chris Jones and the kid. I can't remember if it was Zaire, but that wasn't the name I was given.
Look at the straw man that Smoky Saint's doing.
Xavier.
Look at the straw man that Smoky Saint's doing in the comments section. He claims that I'm saying that the government is infallible. I never made that claim, Smokey. You're the one who's a total moron. Only a total moron like you would put out a straw man like that in order to deflect any accountability for the sick freak that you are. You're proving your guilt right now, Smokey. You should just leave before you embarrass yourself anymore.
Don't give him good advice. What are you doing?
Well, the kind of person he is, he's very prideful and he will reject any good advice. So there's no harm in
all right, I take it back. Anyway, long story short, I got the wrong number. I spent a lot of time checking into it. I got nowhere, and I got pissed off at the individual. You got some of that ire, and it wasn't necessarily your fault. So, for what it's worth, I apologize.
Oh, I accept the apology.
10-4.
TTOR.
Yes.
Where do you get that name from?
My name?
Yeah.
Truth, the Objective Reality. It was a blog I made up back in 2013. And then I realized for the internet's sake, it would be much better if I just shortened it into an acronym.
Yeah.
So I could call you Tor. You're like Thor's retarded cousin. Come on, that's funny.
I'm not an Asgardian now.
Oh, I bet you have some Asgardian traits.
I wish. Not really. I'm fine with who I am. The only reason I don't have my face on camera right now is because my internet gets a little weird when I have my camera on, but it runs smoothly when it is off.
This thing will kick me off if I sneeze wrong.
Oh, your internet's that bad?
Someone joined.
Yep, I'm here.
Ooh, Satan's Tatum is here.
I like how you guys have taken the position that innocence must be proven. I do like that shows you what jokes you are. And the reason I said you think the government's infallible is because the only piece of evidence you pulled up is a government document, which you're claiming to be secure with no need of any evidence or any justification. And that is what makes you a joke, TTOR. In fact, you made a judgment before you heard all the information because the other side wasn't released, which it recently was, and it was posted.
Again, you're
and it shows that your so-called victim was. Well, you're the one that just said you need to prove you're innocent.
Once
You
have
just
I
said
ever
that.
said a government
That's not what he said.
infallible.
What did he say?
Satan's
Go ahead,
Tatum
repeat
over
it.
here. He didn't say.
Repeat
He didn't
it.
say he has
What did he
to.
say? You said you have to prove innocence. You said that, Dustin. You said it too.
When did I say that?
Just earlier, just less than 5 minutes ago. Are you
I never
dumb?
said you have to prove your innocence.
You did.
You
absolutely did. Okay, so then what's the evidence of guilt? Okay, so what's the evidence of guilt? What is it?
What I said was you can only hear the
What's
same
the
thing.
evidence
So
of
many.
guilt? Answer the question. Don't run, cockroach. What's the evidence of guilt?
I'll answer your question along with your assertion. What I said earlier was that you can only hear the same thing from so many different people before you can believe it's true. And right, you have to stay within that reasonable doubt, buddy. Unfortunately, you have reasonable doubt. There's a lot of people who keep pointing. What am I supposed to just discount them?
Without evidence, yeah, without evidence, yeah. If they're just making shit up and then it's shown, and then it gets shown later that they lied.
When was it ever shown that anybody lied, dude? When was the showing of the
did a whole
lie?
stream on it. Did a whole stream on it, then answered it again, then answered it again and again, and you just ignore it. You just ignore it. You just pretend it doesn't exist.
You could just answer it right now, and I'll never watch it live.
The streams are up there. I've been posting challenges. I've been posting challenges to the fraud Christians like you this whole time. You guys won't show up. You don't want to show up. You want to sit around and slander and lie and tell things, but you don't want to show up. Yeah, none of you want to show up. You just want to keep with the slander and lies. And all of you judged with only half truth. You didn't hear the other side. And you didn't ask for any evidence to believe what you were shown. You just believed it right off the bat. And now the evidence is out there. And you both look like a couple of morons who believe things with no evidence.
You don't know. You don't know. I used to listen to you all the time, you dipshit.
Dustin, you're a moron.
I used to listen to you all the time.
Anytime you want to debate,
if you go back,
anytime you want to debate,
if
buddy,
you want to go back,
I'm ready because you're a special dumb one, dude. And I'm ready to just absolutely decorate the halls of my channel with your stupidity. Yeah. I love it. You're a real dumb one.
What would you like to debate?
See how they're like, oh no, we didn't say you need to prove your innocence. And then ends up saying, yes, we do need you to prove your innocence because people said things out there. You guys are absolute morons and you're frauds of the faith. Thanks for hosting, Gigs.
Well, I'm glad he got that off his chest.
Could he just say, I'm guilty?
This is exactly the way he behaved all those years ago when he used to come on to Brett's show and we were always challenging him. This is the way he behaved when his friend Kenny Rhodes would come on and try to basically justify pedophilia in order to make Smoky Saint seem not that bad. This is literally how he behaved back then. So Smoky Saint literally hasn't changed at all. I'm actually kind of happy he came in and spewed himself out like that. It was wonderful.
He started saying, "Who? What exactly would we debate, Smoky Saint? Huh? What? Your proclivity for being a map? What exactly do you think we're going to debate? I don't know."
Bird Pike's here.
Hey,
Hi,
buddy.
Bird Pike. TTOR's
What'd you
here.
say?
The one and the one and only
Oh, hello,
TTOR.
TTOR.
He's
I don't
here.
know if we've met, but it's nice to see you.
You've been on my streams before, or we've been on Brett's streams before. We've been on somebody's streams. That's all
I've
I
never
know.
been on Brett's streams, I don't think.
I think Brother
You've
Pike.
been on streams where Brett have been. I bet you TTOR has been
Proverbs
over
guy.
to
That's who it is. It's
Proverbs
guy.
guys. That's what
Oh,
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have crossed paths. I happen to have been there when it happened.
It was one of the more recent
Well,
streams
it's really
I
nice
did
to
there.
see you again.
Yeah. Okay, let me just refresh this.
Recent, like relatively speaking. You say recent, we go back a few years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Bird Pike's been debating this guy called T.S. Truth Speller. You ever heard of him?
What's the name?
Truth
Speller? No, never heard of that.
I
will say off the top of my head, that sounds like a spelling channel.
He actually casts spells of truth upon the audience.
Oh, okay. I was thinking spelling bee. Like he just makes videos spelling really complicated words.
No, he's been going after it with Brother Pike. He made a couple videos about him, I guess. All right, Brother Pike?
A couple a
Like
week.
6 or 7 videos.
So he's got a hard on
I've
for
become
you?
rather a hot topic on his channel, you might say.
Yeah. We stick to that TTOR. He does teaching once in a while on here on Sundays, I think. Is that right, Brother Pike?
Wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
most
just
of the
looking
time
at
it's on
something.
Sundays.
Brother Pike like to do teachings on here about the Bible and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. One about the law last time, and other times about there's like all kinds of teachers. I forgot there have been millions of them. Right, Brother Pike?
It's been quite a good
So
many. I mean,
I have a question about that actually,
Sure.
Pike. Is there like a level of quality that you have to meet, a threshold by which you can then judge your standard of work? Is there like, because like let's say like I think what I'm doing is considered a work, right? But I don't have a standard by which to judge it
okay,
by,
I understand.
so that
There is a verse that I use sometimes that to me sheds some clarity on that. And it's really one of those things that's sort of at the discretion of the reader, but I can tell you how I hear it. There's a verse to where Paul the Apostle says, "Let him that stole steal no more, but let him labor doing that which is good, that he may give to him that needeth." And so in that verse in modern English, Paul's saying it's not enough.
Oh. Internet went. Yeah.
I was interested in that answers.
I was interested too.
I was really interested in that answer.
Gosh. Darn you, Internet.
Because look, I don't know what I could count in my life as righteous works, right? And whether or not it would even be worth it at this point in my life to try and stack up righteous works.
Oh. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. Normally he has a good thing to got. Might have got a call or I don't know.
And I gotta go too, Gigi. I love hanging with you though, bud.
Oh, thank you. I love hanging. Oh, later on, Aiden's gonna do a review show.
I want to be a part of that, dude. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna be able to sneak away from work today, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, I love you guys. TTOR, it's good talking with you, bud. Who just
Hey,
came
I'm
on?
sorry, Dustin. My internet keeps cutting out.
I want to hear this answer, so I'll
Okay,
stick.
so what I was saying is there's a verse that in my opinion, sheds some light on this. In the verse, Paul says, "Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor with his hands that thing that is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth." And so what Paul's saying is that it's not enough for that man to stop stealing, but he also has to start giving, which is the opposite of stealing. And so I think that that sets a precedent of the kind of works that a Christian should strive for. It's not just to stop doing the things in life they did that were wrong, but actually to pick up doing the things that reverse the damage, the opposite of what is wrong. So, you know, like if you were a liar in life, then you should strive to be overly honest. If you were a thief, you should strive to give. You should do whatever is the opposite of what it was that God saved you from. Does that make sense?
To a certain degree, I am an excellent liar. I have to force myself to tell the truth.
No, I understand that. I mean, people have different struggles, so I mean, I'm not throwing no stones, but I do think that Paul was setting a bit of a precedent there.
I'm going to look into that.
Just a thought.
Thank you for your
Yeah, thank you for the
information.
question.
The show's at 7 tonight, Dustin.
Okay, bud. Thank
See
you.
you, Dustin.
You're welcome. See ya. Brother Pike.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How you been? How you been today?
Oh, pretty good. Just busy. It's Friday, of course.
Yeah, it was crazy. TTOR and Smoky Saint were going at it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've met Smoky Saint. I've heard people talk about him, but I don't think I've ever spoken to him myself.
Well, the pedophile stuff aside, he is a really nasty person with a bad attitude, and he cemented that reputation by coming on here and opening his mouth. It was something to behold.
When anybody starts with the pedophile stuff aside, then you have already set the tone for this relationship.
Well, like 3 years ago, he was in controversy because there was a guy in his state where he lives who was arrested for basically getting with a minor under the age of 15. And then when you looked at the mugshot for the guy, it was literally Smoky Saint's picture. The same guy who was on camera and talking to Jesse Lee Peterson a few years back on his show. And even has the same voice. Because when you compare the voice of the guy who spoke on Jesse Lee Peterson's show to the guy who was showing up in Brett Keen's live streams back then, same exact voice. And then Smoky Saint himself admitted, yeah, it was me who you saw on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. So it is the guy from the mugshots, in other words.
Was the guy convicted, I guess, of pedophilia?
I'd have to go back and find the original documents. I don't remember what the details are.
Well, like you said,
that's what I'm trying to prove, right? Because he was arrested for doing that stuff. I don't know about any subsequent trials or whatnot.
No, I understand, and we should never just assume that somebody's guilty. But I take.
But all I know is. But what I do know for a fact is that at the time he was hanging out with Kenny Rhodes, who used to be a visiting scholar for Reasons to Believe. And then what happened is that while this was all going on, Kenny Rhodes was running interference for Smoky Saint and basically was going around on our shows, one, challenging us to fistfights, or two, trying to make justifications for pedophilia that if we accepted would have cleared Smoky Saint of any wrongdoing on his part, which is only something you do if the guy is guilty of what he was charged and arrested for. So the whole thing was really weird. Yeah, like he literally threatened to go beat people up. He even threatened to go visit and beat up a physically disabled Christian YouTuber at the time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, and in some of Kenny Rhodes' live streams where he went on our show and was doing all this wild wazoo stuff, you could actually hear Smoky Saint in the background of the room that Kenny Rhodes was in. Yeah.
That is very interesting information that I was not aware of.
Of course, since then, Kenny Rhodes is no longer a visiting scholar with Reasons to Believe because basically everyone took the clips where he was being totally out of control and wild and nasty and sent them to Reasons to Believe, and he was promptly no longer associated with them.
Got him.
Because they have a code of conduct that you have to maintain in order to be
code of conduct. I heard
associated with
about
them.
those.
And, yeah.
We actually have those on my teachings.
Yeah, threatening to beat up physically disabled people and trying to justify someone who was arrested for engaging in pedophilia acts. Yeah, that's not exactly something Reasons to Believe wants to be associated with in any way, shape, or form.
TTOR. Here's this one guy I need to tell you about. He changes his name all the time, but I'm just calling by this one most craziest name, Lucifer, who loves weed.
That's Kenny
He's
Brooks.
a crazy. Yeah, this one guy is a different guy. He changes his name all the time. First time I heard of him, he started as Armored Christian, but he changes his name so much. But he's a funny, insane guy. What I found out of when I stopped taking him seriously and think he just needs help with something is when he said he prayed to God and God told him that he's the new Jesus. Wait, I think I told you about that.
Oh,
remember?
dude, I just found something out really good. Oh, you're going to like this.
What?
So I was looking at this 5-minute YouTube video where someone said proof that Smoky Saint is innocent of the whole pedophilia thing. And so he went into ChatGPT, and basically ChatGPT told him that there was no evidence of it and that Smoky Saint had done a live stream where he had disproved the allegations against him. So I went to ChatGPT myself and typed in, did this YouTuber, Smoky Saint, put out a video where he proved he wasn't guilty of pedophilia? And ChatGPT says, as of now, there is no publicly available information confirming that the YouTuber known as Smoky Saint has released a video specifically addressing or disproving allegations of pedophilia. A search of major news outlets and officials. Give me one sec. That's bad. Did not yield any results related to such a video or any public allegations against him. If you have more specific details, such as the exact name of the channel, the date of the alleged video, or links to relevant content, I can assist further in verifying its authenticity or locating it. So we're going to try that again, except this time we're going to type in his actual channel name. But you gotta love how he waited a couple of years to come back to YouTube. That's so funny. Basically, wait till the heat dies down, then come back and pretend you disproved all the allegations against you. Of course, if he actually has evidence that he's innocent, I will follow that evidence where it goes. Let's see. Did Smokey?
Yeah, but this one.
Let's see.
Yeah, this one guy. This one guy. Yeah, he said he prayed to God and God told him that he's the new Jesus. I told you about that a long time ago.
Yeah,
remember?
Just a big.
Now and then later on, a while later, he said now he's the devil. I guess that's why he called Lucifer. He's a crazy guy. He's still around, but he always changes his name.
Okay. I'm going to try and replicate this guy's ChatGPT. Let's see. Let me try a new one. As a matter of fact, let's share the screen here. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Boink. There we go. All right. Can you see ChatGPT? Who is Smoky Saint? Ah, there we go. First one is who that is. Okay. Did the online content creator, Smoky Saint, ever prove that he was innocent ever get accused? Let's try it this way. ever get accused of engaging in pedophilia, and what was the evidence behind those allegations? Let's try that. Yeah, I don't think this is a good answer, but as of now, there are no credible or substantiated allegations against the YouTube content creator known as Smoky Saint of engaging in pedophilia. A thorough review of available information does not reveal any evidence or reports supporting such claims. Of course, Smoky Saint's also not that popular, so I don't know it would have any information on him.
I remember when he debated Ken and G-Man.
Because see, this I know this is wrong because it says there are no substantiated allegations, but he has been alleged. Let me ask it another question. What about the arrest records that showed someone who looks like was arrested for engaging in sexual relations with a minor?
TTOR, you need to include the search to, you need to expand the search to include publicly accessible court records.
What about the publicly accessible arrest? Let me fix the spelling here.
Arrest records or court records. You need
What
to.
about
You need to.
Right. What about the publicly accessible court records? Let's try arrest records first, then we'll try the other one.
Well, you can do them both. I mean, just include it in the parameters.
I'm going to try this first.
Copy that. Compiling.
Yeah, see, now I know that. Now I know this isn't true because when I was looking at this a few years ago, when it was a live controversy, the arrest record I looked at said that the person was 13, not 20. So it wasn't actually rape; it was worse than that.
It was statutory.
Yeah, but 20 years old is not statutory. It has to be under 18. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me think. Ah, that's right. I have Brett Keene's old videos on my own website. And he, I think, had at least one video where he showed Smoky Saint's arrest record on screen.
Do you have the video of when Aiden versus Ken in a debate?
All right, here's Brett Keene. All right, let me go back a few pages. I'm going to just keep going back until I find him. But you, please, go ahead. Keep people entertained while I research.
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
Dustin. What job do you actually do? What is that job called?
Maintenance. Field maintenance.
How much they pay you? $1,000?
I don't know why you keep asking me this, Gigi. I make enough to survive. It's generally not a good idea to disclose your financial information on live. I mean,
sorry, but you deserve to be paid that much.
I believe that as well, Gigi.
Yeah, mods in the comments.
Okay.
She'd say hi.
Hey, missing mod. Okay, you know what? It might be on his old YouTube channel. Let's see.
you're on a mission over here, TTOR.
Well, I know that it's there on the internet somewhere. I just have to be more thorough.
So, okay, look, Smoky Saint. Let's say, for example, these are just rumors. And I'm not necessarily saying that you have to prove anything, but what would be the motive for someone to publicly destroy your reputation? I don't understand the energy it would take to pour into something like this to make this many people believe it, and it's not true. What would be the motive for that?
Here we go. I think I found it. So let me stop screen sharing for a sec and look at this particular one.
I don't have the ability to screen share.
Are you sure?
Well, maybe if you up my status.
Yeah. Here we go. His name was Joshua Nathan Marks Herbal. That's his real name.
So now what we could do is take that name and run it through public databases and see if it comes up with anything.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, I mean,
this whole thing.
You might end up having to spend like $20, but you'll get his whole record. You'll get the whole thing.
I saw his whole record back in the day.
Right, and then we'll know for sure, right? And he'll bitch and complain and moan that he wasn't considered innocent until proven guilty. I mean, look, we have the ability for introspection.
Joshua Nathan Marks Herbal. Let me make sure I spelled
See if
that
his
right.
picture. See if his picture comes up, and then it'll give.
Well, he looks exactly like Smoky Saint if Smoky Saint shaved his beard off.
I mean, I imagine when you're in jail, you don't have a lot to do.
Okay,
Oh,
here we go.
do you remember Nick Shaw?
Here we go. Found it. Found it. Okay.
I hope he's watching right now.
I'm screen sharing again.
I hope he's watching right now.
All right. So yes, Joshua Nathan Marks Herbal has been convicted of a sexual offense involving a minor. Convicted. According to publicly available records, he was convicted on March 30th, 2022, which was around the time that this whole thing was going on, by the way, in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, for indecent liberty with a minor under North Carolina General Statute 14-202.1. The offense occurred on January 6, 2004, when Marks Herbal was 21 years old and the victim was 13 years old. As a result of this conviction, Marks Herbal is currently a registered sex offender in California, residing in Desert Hot Springs. His registration status is listed as regular, with a minimum registration period of 10 years. There is no publicly available information detailing specific evidence during the trial. However, the conviction itself confirms that a court found sufficient evidence to establish his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So everything he said in this stream, Gangster Ghost, was a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
He wasn't just charged, he was convicted. And all I had to do to prove it was put his real name into ChatGPT.
And you know what? You know what else you could throw on top of there? You can check the sex registry list to find out for sure.
Well,
the sex offenders registration list. Yeah, it'll show his picture. It'll show his address. He has to register, and if he doesn't, he's guilty of a felony. Yeah. That dude's not very smart. I'm an idiot though. I know I was smart enough not to touch a 13-year-old.
Hey, Gangster, is my screen on the screen?
Yeah.
All right, let's click the link.
It's hard to
Here
make
we
them
go.
out. Okay, there it is.
And look to the guy with the beard. Doesn't that look like Smoky Saint? That is him.
Yeah, we can cross-register. Now we can cross-register this with the sexual offenders registry, get a picture from there, and see if the addresses match.
Well, this is according to Offender Radar.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, then we just need to check to see if that matches the address on the court registry.
So we're talking about the...
Or his birth date. If the birth date lines up, that's another form of verification, cross-verification.
So wait, what did you say to do with his address?
Cross-check it with the court records to see if it's the same person. And then you cross-reference his birth date with the birth date on the registry, on the court date, on the court paperwork, because they'll have all that as public accessible. What they won't show you is Social Security and I forget whatever else it was. There was something else you're not supposed to get, but anyway.
Just Joshua, Nathan, Marks, Virgil. You know, I just realized I have a TTOR video in the making right now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Smoky Saint was a moron. If he hadn't come on the show, I wouldn't even think to do this.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways you can cross-reference this dude and find out who he is. All we need is just a little bit of information, and we could get his Social Security number if we really wanted to on his filings, because the tax returns are public record. You just got to know where to look.
Okay, so it says I can't. It won't give it to me.
What, the address?
It can't confirm the current address, is what it says.
That means you got to purchase it. That's all that means.
Yeah. But I think we've made the point at this point. Smoky Saint was arrested and convicted of pedophilia stuff. The description of the offense was indecent liberty minor. But the point is that she was 13, he was 21. And the guy in the picture is Smoky Saint without his hat on. Because he used to wear a hat that hid like the top of his face when he used to come onto the live shows. But you could clearly see his beard and hear his voice. That's him. So yes, he was charged and convicted. He is not the innocent man that he claims to be. And I highly doubt he ever provided evidence that the victim lied.
What is that?
What? About what?
Anyways, your avatar.
Oh, that's no, that's AOC. That's a direct quote from AOC right there. That's my hero, bro.
TTOR. Wow, that was crazy. I didn't know anything like this happens.
Yeah, so the person on YouTube who I came across who had a video that proves Smoky Saint is innocent, they basically were asking ChatGPT about Smoky Saint based on his username. They didn't ask it based on his real name.
I don't understand how someone like Smoky Saint has a cult of personality following. How is that possible?
When he has a terrible personality.
As a matter of fact, during the time that this whole controversy was going down in 2022, one of the times that Kenny Rhodes, the reason why Kenny Rhodes met up with Smoky Saint at all is because he went to his trial. And I don't have it in front of me, but somewhere on the internet, there is a picture of Smoky Saint and Kenny Rhodes, either outside the courtroom or outside the courthouse, taking a picture together.
I forget. Who's Kenny Rhodes again? Rings a bell.
Kenny Rhodes is a well, he used to be. Oh, hey, Hillary's emails. How are you doing?
Hillary's
emails.
I would love to see that.
Kenny Rhodes is a Christian apologist, isn't he? I've got that right.
I would.
Lionheart.
Wildheart.
Lionheart. Lionheart.
Not Lionheart. Wildheart.
Well, I've had enough excitement for the day, and I got other things I need to do. But thanks for having me on, Gangster Ghost. This was a wildly entertaining hour of my life.
Have a great day, TTOR.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
you're welcome. Toodles.
Wow, that was crazy. But Wildheart, what you doing there, little guy? About your TV?
Lionheart.
I'm not Lionheart. I'm Wild. I know you wind me up.
Lying heart, not Lionheart. You don't think I'd give you that much? You don't think I'd give you that much credit, do you?
I'm gonna say that's going a bit too far. Lionheart, yeah, but yeah, Lionheart, yeah, I'll say that. And I hear Hillary and Jamie and everyone in the side chat. That's all.
Hey.
ADG or DR. Okay.
Well, hi, Clay.
Hey.
Oh, Clay, yeah.
Yeah,
what you guys up to?
It was crazy in here. TTOR was here, and he got in it with Smoky Saint.
Saint and Tatum.
I was talking to Smoky Saint, not yesterday, the day before, and I got into an argument with him. Dustin,
What was it about? Whether 8-year-olds were more appropriate than 13-year-olds?
Dustin, you've got a lot of background noise, and you are very, very loud. Wow.
Wait, what are you talking about? 8 and 13-year-olds? Are you talking about that Ryan guy?
No, Smoky
I mean,
Saint, Dustin,
that's a good point you got there, Gay R15.
Whatever. Sundowner boy.
Justin, when you're not.
Okay, hold on.
Justin, when you're not.
Go ahead.
Justin, when you're not talking, can you mute, please? You have got a lot of background noise. And it's
Certainly.
very nice. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Yeah, no, I was talking to Smoky Saint the other day, the paedophile who slept with a 13-year-old girl. Yeah, and I was trying to show him that, you know, when God created the flood, he basically created millions or billions of people in order to kill them in the flood. Why just not create them and just create Noah and his family?
Because we have free will.
But that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If God created millions and billions of people, knowing in advance when he created them that he would end up killing them, why just not create them?
Because of free will.
Explain that to me. How would free will matter?
Exactly.
That's not an explanation. That's just saying.
Wildheart.
I've done it again. So I don't mean to be aggressive, but with such peaceful answers.
That's all right.
You know what I mean?
Wildheart. Do you know TTOR? He was on Brett's show too.
Was he? Oh, I've seen Brett today in the side chat of.
Are you keeping up on this Pakistan India stuff? That seems pretty wild. Yeah. I think they're about to go to war together. India,
To do what?
Pakistan, a bunch of Islamists from Pakistan went into India and like killed a bunch of people who were Hindus. And then India like just retaliated and bombed the hell out of Pakistan. And yeah.
Has that happened today?
That's the situation so far.
Not cool. I mean, I'll check it out. I don't mean cool.
That's horrible.
What happened to that? Yeah.
Clay.
What?
How you been? You having fun?
Yeah, always.
Oh, that's good. You're a crazy little guy, just like Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin, are you all right, little guy? Are you there, Dustin? I don't know, but
He put it in the private
Okay.
chat. He's like, I can't talk right now, you guys, but I'm listening.
I'll see that in the private chat.
Yeah, it's right there.
I'll see it.
Oh yeah, according to Google, yeah, multiple explosions have been heard near Suriname International Airport in India.
Are you watching it where they're like retaliating now? And they both have nukes, which is the scary part.
That could be dangerous, yeah. No, I didn't know about that. Thanks for that.
India's the most populous country in the world as well. So if they got nuked, like they would probably have like a huge like death toll.
Yeah. Wow. That is one to keep an eye on. You know what I mean?
And then the other weird thing about it, which makes me wonder if they'll de-escalate it, is Pakistan's like greatest ally is China, and India's greatest ally is Russia. But since China and Russia are like kind of buddies, maybe they'll both try to escalate the situation. You know?
Yeah.
Wildheart.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I met you on Brett King, and you and TTOR. He was on there a lot and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't exactly sure who TTOR was, but yeah.
Have you ever seen that British movie Wild Heart where the guy's like, "I'm not a Paki," when the kid calls him a Paki bastard, and he's like, "I'm not a Paki."
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't think of that movie, but it was like pretty good, and it's like a bunch of skinhead kids.
Oh, was it made in Britain? I think it was called.
Yeah, it's a British movie, and it's like the
No,
kid
but
has a revelation because the leader of the skinhead.
Yeah, I think it was. The actual title was Made in Britain. That was the title of the film. I think. Made in Britain.
Are you there, Dustin?
Yeah. So I was trying to get in earlier, but the conversation's moved so far. I don't know if I can even try and call it that.
Oh, guess what else
Clay.
is here? Hi, Dustin.
What did I tell you about drinking Dr. Pepper?
I know you're following this Pakistan India ish.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey, gangster.
Good to see you, man.
Guess who's here today? You ever heard of TTOR?
No.
He was here, and Smoky Saint. You ever heard of him?
I've heard things about him.
Is he? Is it true that he was that the Catholic Church or the Orthodox Church made him a saint? That's why he's called Smoky
No,
Saint?
that's not true. Don't believe everything you hear.
Dan, what is this movie?
How are you? What?
Oh.
I was going to say it might be Scum as well. There was a film called Scum.
What's the movie, Dan?
It's either
where the skinheads are in a convenience store, and the little kid like gets in an argument with this shopkeeper, and he calls him a Paki, and the guy's like, "I'm not a Paki, I'm British."
Is that American History X or something?
No, it's like that, but it's like the UK version.
No, it's either Made in Britain or Scum. I think they're both skinhead movies, the most famous.
What's it called? Scum?
Scum.
No,
S-C-U-M, or
I'm trying to
Made in
think. It might have been called "This Is England." Is that a movie?
That's it. Yeah, This Is
Oh,
England.
so I've never seen it.
It was a good movie.
I just assumed it was American History X.
But it's like American History X, but an English version where it's like a skinhead kid, and then at the end he has a revelation where he realizes like everyone's the same.
Yeah.
Well, how about this thing with Donald Trump? He's going to have tariffs on the movies. Apparently, that's going to like destroy Hollywood. Some people are mad about it, but I'm actually kind of happy. I think that'll be cool.
But he did make a deal with Britain.
Yeah.
He better
We
have
can
them
still
on
have
Israel.
007
He better
movies.
not be giving Israel a pass, because that'll be like every movie.
Well, apparently he didn't give them a pass because he met with Netanyahu and like Trump was just like, I talked to him about it, and he says he understands it. He understands it. It's just like, yeah, I guess he
He's like, we're
does.
putting a tariff on all the foreign-owned like record labels, and then it's like everything. Next thing you know,
What if we put a tariff on you, Daniel J. Newman the second, the third?
Well, I'm not a sovereign nation. I'm not a member state of the UN.
Oh, what do you think of that video I made of you where you're dancing?
You made a video of me dancing?
Yeah, remember? It had that robotic song to it.
Oh yeah, I do remember it now. Yeah, you made me into a robot. No, it's all right.
It was. Oh, sorry
Yeah, I
about
know. I'm used to misinformation, being
yeah.
slandered by others.
I have a video of Dan dancing as well.
Yeah, I know. You
From
have
my
you have a
shorts.
file. You have a
But it's
you have
like
a
a
file
real.
of blackmail.
It was back when he was doing the dance until you shit your pants challenge.
Oh yeah. Can't forget that. That was such a good one.
Daniel J. Newman.
He was doing the sundown dance challenge.
Yeah. It's called the Sundowners.
I've never heard.
The Soggy Bottom Boys.
Daniel.
That's okay. That's a real band, the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, gangster. You're trying to ask a question. We're keep cutting up over here.
Sorry. Sorry about that. I made a funny, crazy one. I made another one, a crazy one, where have a priest chasing Sandman.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you think that's the Orthodox priest getting a revenge for
him like trying to slander one of our clergymen? Yeah, using my video. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It's a joke. But it was Brother Pike as a priest.
Oh, good.
I have
Good. That's
giant,
fun.
I also have a giant Brother Pike on a church. Look, it was crazy.
I can see it in my mind.
What's up with this guy that's always on Tim's channel, and then on his Facebook, it's just like tons of pics of him with like young gay boys.
You talking about Ryan?
I have to send them to you. I was like, someone sent me some, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It's like actually pretty wild.
Ryan the Presbyterian, are you talking about?
No, Ryan, definitely.
The making Heck nervous or whatever.
Yeah. I was just like, what is this?
Dustin
Why is this guy like got like a young trans woman?
Trans?
Dan, send them to him. Because
I didn't
sent them to
send
Dan. I was like,
anything.
what the? No, I said you sent them to Gangster. Because I sent them to
did
Dan.
I?
I'm like, what the? No, I said you should send them to him now.
Oh,
Like,
I was gonna say. I was
said
like, I
you
don't remember
should,
doing any
because
of
I know
this.
you have them.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Gangster, are you friends with him on Facebook? Because you can just see it for yourself, I guess.
Yeah, I'm friends
Yeah,
with
go
him.
look at
Yeah,
his
you just kind of go
pictures
through
and
his
like go
photos.
through the history,
Yeah.
and there's like it's like young, and I'm just like, whoa, it's kind of weird.
I'm not sure about.
Yeah, it's
Big
not,
Bad Mom.
not
I
for me
mean,
to judge.
Clay,
that's
you
for
have
sure.
a lot of free time on your hands to be looking at people's Facebook. That's interesting.
It's like a hobby of his.
Yeah, I
And
bet.
Sorry, can I just
I
agree
do
with Big
see
Bad
Cast
Mama?
Inc.
Yeah. Okay, I will see you later.
Oh, hold on. Wait, go ahead, Big Wilder.
Wilder's gone.
Daniel, yeah, it was crazy earlier. Wow, it got all crazy like. But this year I'm going to go to the Universal Orlando Thor.
You're really looking forward to that, aren't you?
Yeah, and then to this country concert, and then to Boston. I can meet Zedin there, the new Pope.
The Den.
And he is.
I thought you were going to the UK too.
Yep, and then the UK.
You're taking a huge walkabout there.
Yeah,
It's a midlife crisis?
No. It's gonna be my first ever plane ride.
Oh wow!
I can't believe
Are
you're
you
going
nervous?
all the way to the UK to meet that chick, dude.
What chick?
That one. It's a
So he's
long
messing
way.
around.
Oh, okay. But Daniel J. Newman, would you ever what can I say? We think of did you watch the earlier part when TTOR was on here? It was crazy.
Well, I did actually see that. It's true. It's true. I saw that. Yeah, I did happen to pop in and see that before I came into the stream. I did watch that. Yeah.
Wow.
So Smoky Saint is a pedo.
I have no idea what they said. Get that's Dustin. He would know. He's
Dustin, is he a pedo?
I don't know. I'm just crazy Dustin.
I'm not sure.
I don't know that he's a pedo, but I know I've heard from enough people that he's a pedo to where I can ask him the question and form an opinion on it. You can only hear the same thing from so many different people before you have to start accepting it.
Isn't it weird how everyone in that little circle is like questionably pedophiles? You know?
Who?
Like all of them, dude. Like you're on
Like
their
who?
Facebook and you're like this like 40-year-old man's just hanging around like a bunch of 15-year-old gay boys.
Huh?
Shit, it's
What's
weird.
What are you talking about?
It's weird, dude. Dustin knows. If you actually been to prison, like you know, like that shit ain't cool.
Oh, but we think that great. Well, are you? They should make you the patron saint of burden bushes.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be a good model. People shouldn't model their lives off of me. I mess up too much.
What about
I don't know what happened enough to be able to pass a judgment there. Okay? So I don't know. Okay,
You
there
talking
isn't
about
proof.
Ryan or Smoky Saint?
Well, I'm not going to say a name, but there isn't proof when it comes to one of these individuals as opposed to the other. So I don't know, man. You seem to be jumping to a conclusion, though, right?
Because when you see pics, if you saw pics, if someone was like, "This guy is a pedophile," then you see pics of me with like a bunch of really young girls, like you would be like, "Yeah, he probably is."
I would question it, and I have on a couple of occasions asked Ryan. He doesn't seem to be comfortable enough to talk about it, so I have personally stepped back. It's got nothing to do with me anymore. It's a personal issue between him and his victim. I can't do anything about it. So I
think the
would
best
really
thing is
appreciate
to just
it.
like avoid them and like not
That
associate
is the
with
best
them.
thing. I would also appreciate it if you'd quit running me into the same like category as them, because I'm not.
No, I'm
You're
not.
not going to find any
in that
Facebook.
category. I was talking about like when I said all of them, their circle. I didn't mean like you. I meant like the Proverbs guys and all those people.
Right. Yeah.
Well, where is Smoky Saint from? Is he from that community?
No, he's not.
So it's a
Well, like
completely different thing, play.
Oh, I thought it was just like the other Proverbs guy.
No, yeah, that'd be such a neat pattern, though. But no, I don't think so.
Next week it'll be Tim.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible, man! Don't joke about that. Freaking Tim. Tim doesn't deserve that. as much times as I disagreed with Tim, I'd never, say something like that about him.
I know you look
Yeah,
like
he opens himself up for it for running around with them people, you know.
Well, I mean, so there's that. I mean, I wouldn't have a show with him, but like I shouldn't pass judgment because I'm nobody to judge. So I'm not going to say that. Some people might think it though.
Your mustache. Are you gonna make it a little bit smaller?
What's that?
It's a catch-22 because if you don't take a hard line against the position, then you're leaving people to victimization. But if you don't give someone the benefit of a doubt, then you possibly end up victimizing that person as well. You don't know which side of the table to stand on until you've given it a possible introspection. That's just the reality.
Yeah, but it's like having a joint project with somebody. It's like, who do you choose to have a project with? Like, you want to have a project with somebody who might be that? Because it's like,
do you know
Do you know
Yeah.
before you have the chance to even find out?
I mean, I know
I'll
for
put something in
me.
the private chat, and then
Yeah. I would
or
just say
Dustin.
personally, for me, I wouldn't even want to chance that. So like, because not everybody that I meet has a right to collaborate with me, and I'm very selective about who I would collaborate with.
You
Way more
collaborate
selective
with
than that.
me. You can't be that selective.
Well, collaborate isn't the same as having a conversation. Like I would, or be in the same room with. I mean, like if I was like, Dustin, let's do a show together, that would be like a completely different level. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like this whole
Hold on.
show thing's kind of new. Like.
His thing keep on kicking him out. I don't get why.
We all know it. Gangster Ghost banned him, everybody. He's just joking around. Gangster Ghost, stop it. Stop banning Dustin.
Well, how are you been today, little guy? Watching TV?
I've been fine. I have it's just like a half day of work kind of deal. So I got home and I got some groceries. So I got bad news.
What?
One of my froggies died.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Oh yeah.
It was James. James died, so John's still alive. And I tested the water, and the ammonia levels are up because I guess I overfed them. So I'm fixing the ammonia levels, and once those are fixed, I'm going to get a new frog so that he has a friend. And hopefully he pulls through it. I hope he's not, poisoned or anything. But yeah, I kind of been dealing with that. So.
Son of a bitch. I gotta go, guys. I'll catch you later.
All right, see you, Dustin. Be well.
Gangster, send Dustin what I just sent you.
Okay.
Like privately.
What?
But Daniel J. Newman, how you been today, little guy?
Well, so just to kind of add more to what I've already said, I ate some shrimp. I had some shrimp for a lunch.
Are you sure that's allowed? I thought Jamie Russell said you're not allowed to eat shrimp or pig.
Yeah, but he's a 7-day
If you're
Adventist.
Orthodox, you're not supposed to be eating shrimp.
Yeah. When you
'Cause
fast, you're
it's
allowed to eat
not
crustaceans because it doesn't bleed. It doesn't bleed like we do.
I don't know, dude. I seen that video, that Orthodox man climbing out of the sewer in New York, and they were bringing up like you shouldn't eat shrimp.
The guy in the sewer? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was the Orthodox Jews. I'll just send it to you. Orthodox Jews like dug a tunnel system in New York, and they got one climbing out of a sewer.
Well,
And it's like you see a Jew man with his like the big black hat, and he just like crawls out of the sewer and he looks around and runs.
Oh, wow.
And it's
He's like, don't eat shrimp.
And what's insane?
Keep the old law.
What's insane about it? What's insane about it is there's a guy on this block that for like 6 months was like, I hear Jews underneath me, they're tunneling, and everyone thought he was insane, and then they actually were.
Why is that mustache?
But it was like some.
What?
What?
I'm just joking with you, Daniel. But you're a good young.
He's wearing my signature mustache.
Yeah, you trying to be like Clay?
Like when I do it, and then join your stream.
Are you trying to be like Clay then?
I actually told Clay.
That's the Yeezy
I told Clay
mustache.
about facial hair. I was the one who let him knew about it. It's like, hey, you should try this
See
sometime.
Dan's mustache, Gangster. He's been growing it for like 8 years, and it's like undone.
Yeah, I've been growing this since I was a baby.
Oh, well, I want to ask you something. Have you ever?
Yeah.
Have you seen that new movie Until Dawn? Any of you? Is it good?
No, not yet. Not yet. The last thing that I saw was Black Mirror, and I watched the sequel to the USS. I forget what the name of it is. It's like a
Liberty.
US. No, it starts with a C, but it's the one where it's like Star Trek, and they're like digital clones, and they're in a video
I
game.
didn't watch that.
Well,
I gotta watch the House of Daniel because I've heard like multiple people tell me
You
it's
mean
really
House of
good,
David?
and I guess it's on Prime for
You mean
free.
House of David?
Yeah, House of
Dude,
David.
it's amazing. It's amazing. Gangster Ghost, you should watch House of David.
And it's just on Prime.
Yeah, it's on Prime.
I like literally
good.
never. I got Prime for the free shipping, but I've like. There's only been like one thing I've ever watched on there ever, and it was when that
Invincibles?
Coming to America 2 came out, and it was
You
on
haven't seen
there.
Invincibles yet, or The Invincible, or Invincible?
Oh. Oh, what else was on there? It was like a South Park movie or something.
There's
I think I watched
Bad
that.
Boys too, or I think that's what's called, Bad Boys.
I've seen that, but I've seen Bad Boys 2 like years ago.
Or no, it's the one where they're like superheroes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Boy?
I don't know, dude.
Is it the boy?
Bad Boys. The Bad Boys or the Boys? The Boys. There we go. The Boys. Thank you, Gangster Ghost.
You're welcome.
See? Yeah, you know. So the Boys. The Boys is on
The
Prime.
only superhero shit. Normally I don't like it, but I really like that Umbrella Academy.
That's on Netflix. Yeah.
And then Wolverine and whatever, Deadpool, that was a good one too.
Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah.
Out of you two, who would be Deadpool? Would Clay be Deadpool? You'd be Wolverine?
Probably.
Yeah, I think
Dan is
I think
more
I'm more of a
conservative.
Wolverine.
He's more of a prude, like especially
Yeah,
sexually.
And like I have like more facial hair, just like Wolverine. And plus I'd have the really cool claws. And you know, like he'd be like staring at like some wall and be like, "Hey guys, you know, I can see you. I'm so meta. I can see the audience." And it'd be like, "All right, that's
Guess
weird."
his hair?
As it, Mr.
It is
Pike.
Mr. Pike.
I knew it. See, I have a sense about it.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Yeah, today was a crazy stream.
Yeah, you kind of doxed a pedo on your stream.
Oh, not me, that was Brother Pike.
That was an accident. That got talked
It wasn't Brother Pike. It was TTOR. He did it on your stream.
I have this crazy...
That's why. Honestly, that is why I showed up. I was like, "This is crazy," and I took a picture of it and I sent it to Clay, and then Clay showed up, and I'm like, "All right, I better get on here. Make sure Clay doesn't say anything crazy."
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's nuts, man. That guy's probably in serious trouble now, man. Which is okay. I mean, he probably deserves it. But like, if he victimized a 13-year-old, he deserves it. But yeah, there's addresses out there, man.
They put his address out there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't
Oh
need to
yeah.
put the guy's
Yeah, I took
address
a
out there. Who did that?
I took a picture of it, man. I was just like, "Whoa."
Who put his address out
Ayo.
Oh.
Well, you know, they were using ChatGPT and they went through the sex registry, the sex offender registry, and that shows everything.
They
And
don't
it's
need to
like,
put that
oh
guy's
my
address out
goodness.
there. That's not right.
It is what it is, man. I'm not somebody to judge. I just saw it happen and I was just like, yeah.
Daniel,
Yeah.
Here's one lady you love. I think you would have her be your Mrs. Newman. She on there told like it
I'm listening.
is that woman is a female with X chromosomes and stuff. She told like
Okay, this sounds good so far. Is she
Yeah.
hot?
and she had a Trump
All
hat
right.
on. Yeah.
All right. I can meet
I
her.
don't know, but I got the video of her on my channel. She's nice.
Is she in any way accessible to me? Or is this just going to be a dream? Is she like a celebrity?
I don't know. She's not a celebrity. She's just an everyday girl telling it like it is.
An everyday girl telling it like it is. Does she live on the Northeast?
I have no idea.
In the Northeast anywhere?
I got on Facebook. She told it like it is.
Daniel, you know that all them girls that are common and tell it like it is live below the Mason-Dixon? Come on, man.
Well, I have a video I have out here calling out Bernie Sanders as being a hypocrite. It had 1.2 thousand views. Wow.
1.2K? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shorts,
And
they changed the algorithm pretty recently, and now it's like it has a lot more views. the thing is, like, TikTok, like, this is one of the theories out there. Now, this is conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat stuff. But there's a theory that TikTok is using bots to make it look like there's more engagement on their platform than there actually is. And that's why people get so many more views on TikTok. But they changed the view count algorithm so that you're more likely to get views. Like, durations that are very short still count now. So you could probably just,
Look
like...
at this.
Yeah, go ahead. You play your thing.
Oh, sorry. Look at this. Monster chasing Tim, and I got Brother Pike Monster Priest chasing Sandman. What do you think of that? Is that crazy?
It is. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Watch this.
Yeah, it kind of just occurred to me that since you don't actually know what Sandman looks like, really, that's just really could be anybody. But
That's
get the idea.
his avatar picture he uses on your channel.
Well, yeah, he used to, yeah.
He always looks so sad, looking down on the ground. So sad. So sad. So sad. Oh, sorry. Look at Brother Pike.
Well, Brother Pike, he's a man of his word. Got his boots on tight, never looks absurd. But when it comes to summer heat, you'll never see him in shorts, no way, not a beat. Why don't I wear shorts? Brother Pike would say, it's not my style, not my way. I like my pants all day and night. Keeps me looking sharp, keeps me feeling right. Yeah. Folks ask him why he don't show his knees. He just laughs and says, that's...
This is the craziest part. He's up there, giant Pike.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
He's a giant guy up there. What do you think of that, Brother Pike?
The radical tunes.
Yeah,
because that's a real pop, as the kids say.
Yeah. Oh, that was crazy. But yeah, this show really been crazy. He disappeared. But Daniel. Yeah, that was crazy. And but I want to ask you, what would you do if you actually met Clay in person?
Well, I'd immediately realize I'm taller than him. That'd probably be the first realization that'd go through my mind. But no, I actually want to meet Clay in person. We planned on it a few times before, but at some point it's going to happen. Yeah.
Well, are you going to hold hands, walk down the street together?
No, I don't think we'll do that. We'll probably shoot guns. Yeah.
Well, you always look a lot like Father Charles. What if you are him?
No one's ever really asked me something like that before, Gangster Ghost. I don't know what would happen. But it's something that I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, kind of deal. You know what I mean? Who is this? Barty Johnson.
Who are you, Mr. Johnson? Are you there?
It's my Popeye face. It's either I have a stroke or I'm Popeye. I'm making fun of people with a stroke. It just kind of looks like that. Strokes are terrible.
Guy, was he you?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. I'm sure I seen that mustache on a German joke.
Why does everyone think this looks like a Hitler mustache? It's so upsetting to me. This is not a Hitler mustache. Do you see? It kind of just fans out and becomes more blonde, so you just can't see it as well. But it continues. For whatever reason, it's a different color right where Hitler's would be. I don't know why God gave me the genetics I have. I didn't plan this. You think I dye my hair or something? You think I'm like, oh yeah, I want this to be red, I want this to be blonde, I want this to be kind of brunette. I'm a calico. I'm like a cat. but I don't got the reflexes.
He said, yeah, it does kind of look like that.
It is what it is. Yeah. Es quod est, as they say in Latin.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah. For Charles, he said he's been busy traveling lately, but probably he might do a video in probably 2 weeks or something.
Nice. Yeah, Christian Pike is a little Baja busy right now, but he said he'd come back on here soon. Mine.
He's a crazy guy. What if you found out you're related to Hitler?
I'm very sure I'm not.
That's
yeah.
What if Clay?
Clay, pretty sure he's not either.
Okay, what if Aiden is?
Aiden? We could be. Yeah, could be.
You say you have German ancestry? I have German ancestry too. We could be related.
We are related, Gangster Ghost. I've explained this to you. We're brothers in blood. The blood of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I see your brother from another mother.
Right.
Yeah, you're a good young man. We're all proud of you, Daniel J. Newman.
Oh, that guy keeps me going. That keeps me going.
Thank you. Oh, can I tell you something? In the UK, I helped my friend. I got him studies and stuff. He used to help save kids from abuse. We just saved a kid from abuse again.
Good.
Over 6,000 kids.
That's good work.
Crazy?
It's good ministry.
We got tons of we got a lot of bands there too. Band on the puberty blockers and stuff, and cross-from hormones, and men using the woman's bathroom, and all kinds of stuff. And they just ruled that gender is your biological sex.
Oh yeah, they're undoing all that weird stuff.
Yeah,
that's good. It's about time they undid the weird stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. We got a lot of stuff banned there and did all kinds of stuff. Saved a lot of kids from abuse and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. What do you think of that? Is that crazy?
Is who crazy?
Is that crazy? Yeah, I saved a lot of people from abuse and stuff. Yeah, a lot of kids. It's so dope. Just one kid sent me a card.
I wouldn't say it's crazy. Maybe crazy
Yeah.
good. I wouldn't even call it crazy good. I just say it's good or very good.
Yeah.
Some might even say exceedingly good. To save a child is to save the future.
Yeah, this kid sent me a card thanking me for help saving him.
Nice.
It's so adorable and stuff.
Crowns in heaven, Gangster Ghost. You'll be able to trade that in.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and it was awesome. But have you talked to Sandman lately?
No.
Oh, are you two fighting or anything?
No, but I don't talk to him anymore.
Oh, why? Is it because of Clay?
No, it's not because of Clay. I mean, I think you probably know, but he goes against my church, and he is constantly saying bad things about the church and all the churches, and he's dissuading people from Orthodoxy when I'm actively trying to get people to come and see an Orthodox church.
Oh,
you're completely
you're
against
talking about Jess Britt.
my modus operandi.
You're talking about Badger Snake.
No, not Jess. That's
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Cool. Yeah. Me and Jess are fighting again.
Yeah.
We're arguing over whose baptism's real.
Where I live, I don't think I could find any Orthodox churches, but Catholic churches about everywhere.
Yeah.
There's some Orthodox ones. Everywhere. There's one on Harper in Sinclair Shores.
Oh. Do they harp on you?
Yeah. You go there and they get around in a circle and they just harp on you like brutally. I went there and
true?
they wanted a bunch of money, and all they gave me was some pamphlets, and that was it.
That true, Daniel?
Yeah, Clay made a huge donation that day.
I've never actually been there, but I seen it like when I was there. Where we got a friend, Dan used to be in this like ultra elite club, and this guy like lied, and he's like, I joined and paid the money, and all they did was send me some pamphlets in the mail. I'm flipping houses now, guys. Life is looking good. And then this old lady's like, get off there.
Stop talking to those guys.
Yeah, it's like, it's time to, you got to watch these kids.
What he said. No one.
Oh, you're talking about Nerdy Rodent comment?
Yeah.
yeah. That's why. That's why I don't talk to Sandman. He said mean things about my mustache.
Yeah.
No one. Yes.
Never talk about this. If you do, it's over. I'm banning you.
Sandman's just got like a level of like arrogance to him that's like kind of douchey. You know?
Yeah.
Especially for a guy who doesn't actually go to a church. Like, I could totally understand if he's like, I go to this church every week or something, but it's like, dude, you don't even go. What are you talking about?
I'm not going to talk bad about the guy right now or ever, because I'm just, not going to do that. But what I will do is say it was pretty crazy earlier when you had TTOR on and he was talking about that Saint Smoky Bandit guy.
So is that what that mugshot was?
That's where that mugshot came from. Yep.
Was it you, Mr. KR15?
Yeah, I posed as a decoy and got him.
You said it's just me. I just live here with me, my mommy, and my daddy. But they're away on vacation right now. It's like, are you sure you're 13? Yeah.
That's
sure.
like the funniest, cringiest video. He's like, just me, my mommy, and my daddy.
My daddy.
He's like, my
me
mom
all by
has
my
my driver's
lonesome.
license in her purse. Haha. Do you ever watch some Chris Hansen videos?
It's a joke.
Gigi?
Chris Hansen. I remember seeing about that, but it's been a long time.
He was the guy who was like, have a seat. Yeah, take a seat.
There's a stupid trucking company, and I'm trying to think of the name. I can't remember the name. But anyways, there was like an episode where a guy who worked for that company like drove his truck to like to meet up with a kid. It was like a really, really bad look. And it's a company that like claims they're like ultra Christian. I think it's John Krishner Transportation or something. But they have like the Jesus fish on the back of their truck for their logo.
Daniel, what do you think of the Jesus fish? Is that a good logo or bad logo?
It's a good logo. It's what basically during the time of the persecution, Christians had to be in secret.
Sand, and that would let others
Exactly.
know, like, oh.
Because if you just drew a line in the sand, that could mean anything. But if somebody else completes it as a fish, only Christians know that. And then, like, you know that this person's also a Christian. They're not going to get you killed.
I still like Sam, man. I like all you guys. You're all good buddies. You know that, Daniel? You're a nice young man. I'm proud.
You know what, like, reminds me of you
you.
guys? Is the all-new Kanye West song called Cousins?
Cousins.
Don't bring up Cousins here. Gangster Ghost doesn't need to hear about that stuff.
Hanging with my cousin, reading dirty magazines. Kanye West, did I send you the song on X today? And it's just called Heil Hitler N-word. And it's Kanye West rap song.
I saw the comments on it because I read the comments. I didn't listen to it because I couldn't. Not given the setting I was in, nor do I really want to. I don't want to listen to it, you know.
Imagine like if I just joined.
No, Gangster Ghost. This is not a Hitler mustache. I'm not a neo-Nazi.
Okay, cool. I was just joking with you.
I'm 4.5% Ashkenazi Jewish.
Oh,
I
I
have
Jewish
state culture
too.
Yeah. We talked about that.
Related. What if we're related?
We are related, Gangster Ghost. By the blood of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, guys, so what if you find out that Dracula was Judas? Judas became Count Dracula. You ever seen that movie, Dracula 2000?
I've heard about it enough times now that I'm totally familiar with what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, is that crazy?
It is crazy, but it's not true, though, because Judas did not become a vampire. But Judas, what he did was he gave up, he didn't repent, and he killed himself. He killed himself before the crucifixion was even done.
Well, I heard from this one guy that he was the original Ginger.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I found out David, he had red hair, and so did Adam. Bible said they call him rubies. That's Jewish nickname for people with red hair.
Yeah, there's something about that. I mean, the Muslims are all about it, too, because they claim that Muhammad had a red beard.
He could have. Well, going by science, Middle Easterns are Caucasian. Go back far enough, they came from Europe too. The Caucasian Mountains. There's Indo-European, Semitic, and Hamite. That's the three main groups.
But we're all out of Africa.
Yeah. Thanks to you.
I'm the reason why we're all out of Africa.
Yeah. Yeah, and
can't explain it, but I am.
Yeah, yeah, is that crazy? Well, here's this guy. Did I tell you about this before? Michael Jones. Yeah, Michael Jones. That's it. Inspired philosophy. Did I tell you about him? He believed that evolution's how God made Adam and Eve.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think of that? Do you believe evolution could be how God made Adam and Eve?
I don't know, Gangster Ghost. You trying to entrap me right now? You're trying to theologically entrap me? I honestly don't know. I don't know how God made us. I just know He made us, and I know that we're not the same thing as an animal. We were created as the pinnacle of creation. We're the temple of God, and we're made in the image of God. So, like, we are the most important thing in this universe. So, I don't know. When it comes to evolution, I wasn't there for it. It doesn't affect me right now. Therefore, I actually don't care.
You serious?
I'm dead serious about it. Some people care so much about the science. And I hear people talking about science, and a lot of them, they talk about science, Gangster Ghost, and honestly, they're not even that good at it. I hear them saying science words, and they don't necessarily even know what they mean. But at the end of the day, I've lived a long enough time that I actually don't care about these things anymore, except as plot devices for imaginative stories. All it would be is vehicles for telling the morale of Jesus Christ. That's all that it matters to me. So, when it comes to our origins and all that stuff, I believe what the Bible says. That's what I believe.
Oh, that's nice. You ever? Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. Have you ever? Yeah, here's all kinds of. There's people believe in the gap theory. You ever heard of that? Where they believe that the devil was
I've
on
heard
Earth.
of the Gap. It's a clothing store.
I mean, and they say there was a gap between the Bible, where the devil lived on Earth, and God flooded the world to get rid of the devil and his armies, because they turned on him. Yeah, is that crazy?
I don't know. That's not what the Bible says. The flood happened with Noah.
Yeah, because they mentioned this part when the Bible says when God was above the God's spirit was above the waters.
Okay, because it's the Holy Spirit gives life to the world.
Yeah, they try to say the waters was about a flood. I guess. I don't know.
No, that's about creation. Yeah, they're talking about the water. Yeah, no. No. That's some weird stuff there. I don't listen to that kind of stuff. These strange doctrines, I have no interest in them.
Yeah,
Just none.
Crazy. Also, yeah. Would you ever? What would you do? Here's all kinds of stuff. What do you think if you saw Dustin in person?
It depends on the context.
Oh, he's just walking down the street dancing like you.
He's dancing down the street, and that's how I meet him?
Yeah.
I'd say, hey, how are you? How the heck are you, Dustin? It's me. It's Daniel J. Newman. Remember me? From Burning Bushes?
Oh, I need to show you that video I got of you as dancing. You're just all dancing. You're a good dancer. Look.
Are you talking about a video of me actually dancing?
Yeah. Okay, you get great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I've mastered the art of feet dancing.
You're a good dancer. That one got there. I think here's another one did a lot even more than that did. I'm sure, but here's all kinds of ones. This is great. This one is where Bruce a little crazy like watch this.
Lockdown. You just ain't getting the she's up there.
What do you think of that? Is that crazy?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I don't. What was he? He was. That was
like he fell through a wormhole.
Yeah. It was crazy. Have you ever heard of AOC?
AOC, yeah, the politician.
Yeah, she's crazy. Look at baby Aiden as a fish baby. And yeah, here's Gangster Aiden. There's Aiden dancing as a redneck cowboy. There's Aiden being a ladies' man.
Yeah.
Oh, here, this guy is the one who goes around telling people they're going to hell.
You don't have to love evil, AJ. You don't even have to like evil.
That guy right
AJ.
there, he was going around telling everyone they're going to heck. His wife is going there. His kids are going there. His people at his church is going there. They're all going there. What do you think of that? Is that crazy?
I think people say things out of anger, and they probably don't necessarily understand what that means.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy. But
yeah,
can they show you this? Here's the lady I think Clay would love to marry if he could. Lady Aiden. See?
Clay's already married, Gangster Ghost. He's married to an Asian lady. He had a kid with her.
I know, I just joking. This is the face people make when they first see that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is this.
Wow.
And maybe this. You got some fish and chips.
Yeah.
Here's some
Abysmal.
Does this look like Wild Heart? Oh, sorry.
No, that's not Wild Heart. Hopefully Wild Heart's not too upset. I think people were talking over him and he got pretty frustrated.
Sorry about that. But
I accept your apology.
Thank you.
I mean, I didn't get hurt at all by this, but I'll accept your apology. Yeah, I'll take one of those. Gangster Ghost apologized, and I said, "Yep, I accept your apology. I will do that for you.
Thank you. Oh,
You're welcome. You're
next
welcome.
time Fire Truck have a show, would you like to come on there?
Yeah, depending on when it is, of course. Yeah, I think Father Charles is cool. He's cool in my book.
Yeah, he's a good young man. Oh, I need to tell you some. It's all crazy. Like these. I heard Maine, the schools are actually going against the governor and going side of Trump.
Oh, you mean like? Oh, hey, it's Jess.
Hi, Jess.
What's up, homies?
Hi.
Hey.
I just got back from a long bike ride.
Oh, you're a little quiet there, little guy.
I'm quiet.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, your mic's low.
Is that better?
It's a little better. You could probably crank it up a little bit more. Crank that puppy up.
See if it's in the settings. It must be the settings that's a problem. Noise suppression. Does that fix it?
Jess, is it true what Clay said? You and Daniel are fighting?
Me and Daniel are what, undercover lovers?
No, fighting. Oh, you are? I didn't know that.
No.
Okay.
I'm just being funny.
Yeah, no, Clay was making a joke because it was about Gangster Ghost is bringing up Sandman, and he's just like, oh, Clay was like, oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Jess, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, we got in a fight about that baptism again. You know?
Sorry about that, Daniel.
Yeah, I don't have time for Sandman. That's not my vibe, man.
Oh, sorry about that. But how are you been,
You're
Jess?
good.
Yeah, I decided not to have him on my show anymore, and I let him know, you know, through the video itself, I guess.
But Jess, how are you been today, little guy?
I'm just finally happy to be to the end of the week. You know, it's been a long week out in the heat. It's hot out there.
See, I work inside, so I'm lucky.
Right.
Yeah, I got a nice, cool office.
Yeah, he works inside.
I'm one of the little people. I have to work outside.
What about
you might get paid better.
What about Clay? Does he
Jess.
work outside or inside?
Clay, he's a truck driver, so it's a little bit of both. I guess. Do you include the vehicle as being inside?
No.
So then, no, he's always outside then.
No.
Yeah. But like, if you haven't good enough air conditioning, it can kind of feel cool in a vehicle.
If
right?
it was cool as you, it would be iced. That's a joke.
I can't disagree with you. Yeah.
Hi, Jess. We missed you, little guy.
Do I sound better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
How you been?
I'm good. I'm just again tired. Just trying to get some rest. I got an ice pack on my back right now. It's cooling me down and helping my back. So
Sorry about that. But
didn't do it.
Do you see what happened
I
today?
knew, Logan. All this back pain from being 42. It's all your fault.
You're responsible for the sin.
I need to today is a crazy episode.
Did you apologize for Eve when she made Adam eat the apple?
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't apologize for the devil stuff.
Harry Clinton.
Don't worry, he'll have plenty of time to say sorry later.
Okay, thank you. Oh, Jessica, I have some. That. You ever heard of that lady AOC?
Yeah.
She's very crazy.
Yeah, there's something very uncanny about her. Like, cause she kind of has like donkey teeth.
Yeah.
But she's also somehow conventionally attractive. Like, it's weird.
Yeah,
but she's got the crazy,
Well,
commie
there's
crazy
nothing as
eyes.
beautiful as ugly, right?
What'd you say?
There's nothing as beautiful as ugly, right?
Yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know, but she's got the crazy commie eyes, and I don't know. It's funny. There's a conservative comedian that hounds her. Like whenever he sees her anywhere, he like yells out, "Hey, it's my favorite big bootied Latina," and she like gets so mad and like has meltdowns about it. And yeah, that's not very nice. But it is.
Did you ever see the one? Did you ever see the one video that was going viral like maybe a couple of years ago? But it was a guy like at an airport, and this person was just like, "What's your name?" And he's just like, "Hugh." She's like, "Okay, Hugh." And what's your last name? Mungus. And like then she just got so upset.
That's hilarious.
Like she just kept yelling at him, and she's like, "Humongous what? Humongous what?" And he's just like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And like basically like the airport security had to get there and stuff, and he's just like, "Look, I don't mean any trouble." Like, yeah, and they ended up having to protect him from her. Yeah. Because at first they thought like maybe he was the guy, but no, she was the victim.
Yeah,
of her just being nuts.
So funny.
Yeah, people can be very sensitive.
Yes.
But there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, Jess.
Well, apparently we need to be concerned about India. I really haven't been paying attention to anything.
I thought you were from India.
I think you're thinking of Josh.
Oh, okay. But
Josh is gonna pop in here in like 5 seconds.
I was just
Excuse me, Jess.
Actually, that guy, Finland guy, Tim's friend.
Yeah.
He's the one who sounds like he's from India. I thought he was.
He's Finnish, so they have a very strong accent, and they're typically pretty racist people.
The Finns.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what happens when you have a country that's like all white.
I've ever met are Salvadorians. They're completely racist against every other Hispanic. It's hilarious.
Even. What about, are they racist against Burden Bush Hispanics?
I have a hard time believing Daniel has a single Hispanic bone in his body. He doesn't look Hispanic at all.
Arriba.
Angole.
Taco.
It says my DNA test, I have some percent of Spanish and Portuguese.
I get along with the Hispanics though.
Yeah, they're humble,
I should
people.
learn Spanish so I can get myself a Spanish wife. Not a Spanish wife from Spain, but like a Latino
gosh,
wife.
Should I tell you what happened to me at work, Daniel?
What?
So I was at work and I was spraying this house, and the lady had a Russian last name, and I was talking to her, and she saw my Orthodox cross. She's like, "Are you looking for a wife?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, my sister goes to church every day. You like her?" And I'm like, "Is she here?" And she's like, "No, she's in Russia, but she needs to come here. Are you looking for a wife?" I'm like, "I'm married, but I'll ask around for you."
How are you befriending Daniel J. Newman?
She should marry me.
Oh man, you just have to go to St. Petersburg. I don't know what travel is like to Russia right now. I guess things have cooled down, haven't they?
I don't think so.
I don't know. That shows how much.
I think if anything, World War III is like really kind of kicking off.
Yeah,
a lot of strange developments. I didn't think India and Pakistan would really be in the mix, but you know what? Why not? It makes sense. They have nukes. They both like are really like,
they're both idiots. Except I hope India beats Pakistan.
They don't have
Pakistan is terrible.
They don't have the kind of technology we do. So what they have to do is basically guess if a missile that can have a payload of over 50 pounds is a nuke or not. And like almost all of India's missiles now can do that. And I think Pakistan's like in the same boat. So I don't know how this is going to play out, because it's like once those missiles start flying, they're not going to know if they're nukes or conventional until they blow up. And so like, are you just going to take a chance and be like, well, let's just hope our enemy that's killing us only wants to kill us a little bit instead of a lot of it? Like, this is not going to go well. The last time they had a major conflict was in 1999, and that was 1 year after both got nukes, and they didn't have missile technology yet, so it wasn't really a problem.
Why
Plus,
do they hate
like
each
they
other
had a
so
lot of help
much?
from the comment because one's Muslim and one's Hindu.
That's it.
That's it. That's the thing. It's religious. Yeah, that's the reason why they hate
Orthodox
each other.
countries never go to war with like other countries over religion. Have you noticed that?
I've noticed that we've pretty much just been persecuted all of our entire
Well, I
history,
mean, I guess
and we never get into these schisms and all these other weird things. Like, yeah, they happen from here and there, like during peaceful times, but all the other churches fracture and get really bad. Meanwhile, we die, but we live more so than they do because we're actually keeping the faith.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jess. Yeah, that one lady, her, and I even had a video of calling out Bernie Sanders as a
Who?
hypocrite. And at one point,
You had
Bernie
one?
Sanders, at one point,
Oh,
yeah, calling him out for
okay.
being a hypocrite.
I
And
mean, he definitely
at
is.
one point,
I know because he was one of my most popular videos. He was freaking out about RFK and something about onesies being anti-vax and just absolutely flipping out on him. And then it turned out that Bernie like has been taking all this money from the pharmaceutical industry. Is that what you're talking about?
no, it was something to do where he was telling people that they need cut down on of gas and stuff, but he rides a
Yeah,
airplane.
he also has 3 houses, Logan.
Yeah, he's a hypocrite.
Did you know that when he became a millionaire, he started only saying billionaires instead of millionaires and billionaires whenever he would complain? What are you doing, Daniel?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay. I think his mustache is taking
I think
over.
that Bernie's only got so much time left, and he's trying to figure out how to get mass appeal across the whole party. Because honestly, the Democrats seem to think the only good ticket they have left is Bernie and AOC. I would love for that to happen. I feel like Trump could win a 3rd term on that one.
I think you should win a first term.
Why?
Because you're Jess.
I would one of my first actions. I'd probably get impeached because I'd have the FBI find out who Sandman really is and see if he's really Orthodox.
Oh, but yeah, it had 1.1 thousand.
Wouldn't it be the CIA because he's in Canada?
That's probably true. Is that next level petty though?
Yeah,
I just have questions that I want answers to. That's all.
We had some long conversations before I decided to finally cut it off, and he said some things that sometimes I think no, because he says like weird things like where he'll be like, yeah, it was he calls it like liturgy mass sometimes, and I'm like, why are you calling it mass? And like he has like no understanding of like that there's different dioceses.
Maybe he has
so
a
he
different
thinks like
personality where he's Catholic and knows everything about Catholicism. Maybe he has like.
What if he's just like trolling all the churches, man? He has like a Baptist one too. That's like why he has the one saved always saved.
He's actually Bruce.
Yeah, and Bruce was just using an AI this whole time, and we just think he's like not a dummy because he wouldn't want to be like make himself a dummy, but like definitely not portraying himself as a smart guy, right? Just to really dupe us.
Does Bruce, since he's your Facebook friend now, does he post like long comments on all your stuff? No,
he hasn't commented anything yet.
Huh. Just keeping tabs.
No, I think. Yeah, I think we're probably just gonna have a pretty cool relationship.
Yeah.
I think Bruce, like, you almost had to just like know what topics to avoid with him, you know? And also like, yeah, just don't let him get to you, you know?
Yeah.
But he's not saying anything like too harmful. The thing about like Sandman that worrisome,
Sandman,
and I don't want to keep talking about him, but like he portrays himself as orthodox.
But then he would say some of the worst stuff, but he would say it in the like most acceptable sounding way.
Right, right. Like, and he would say things that I know would turn people away from the church. Not only when he blatantly says like all the clergy are false and like they're all betraying the faith, which of course would turn people away. But like he would like the one big thing with the contention that I had was like him saying that when we die, we don't go to heaven with Christ, and he was just like, well, it's not the final heaven, not until the last day. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's not the final heaven, but like you do get to be with Christ. That's why we have the intercession of the saints. And there's like 2 Corinthians 5:8 that talks about that too, like that we have assurance that we will be with Christ, and Christ is in heaven with the Father. And like while there's nothing like completely there's nothing that is like doctrine about like the afterlife when it comes to the Orthodox, except for a few things like the resurrection.
Yeah.
But like he was saying in a very like clear way that is a Protestant idea, that you would be with Jesus after you die. And it's like, that makes us sound like we're Seventh-day Adventists. That makes us sound like we believe in soul sleep. And like, you know, like I don't like when if somebody hears that and thinks that's what orthodoxy is, they might never come into a church.
Yeah.
Because like what hope is there that you're not going to be with Christ when you die? Like what's wrong with you? Like you live with Christ, and as long as you're alive in Christ, nothing can kill you. He destroyed death.
Yeah.
Oh, does the Bible say opposite from the body mean pleasant with the Lord?
That's 2 Corinthians 5:8. That's correct. Yeah.
And I think in the Old Testament it said your soul leaves your body to go back to God to be judged.
Yeah, and the church fathers teach about a particular judgment and a general or universal judgment. And Sandman, when I was talking to him, he was like, "What? There's 2 judgments now? I wasn't aware of this. That there's 2 judgments. Look, Dan's a new theologian. He thinks there's 2 judgments." I'm like, dude, that's not my fault that you can't even like read the Orthodox Study Bible and see that that's in the footnotes, man. Like, you're off base, and like maybe I'm newer to the faith. If he actually is in
I
the
don't think
faith,
he is.
but like at
I
least
think Thomas.
I'm not like saying stuff like you are.
When Thomas Soroka,
but I mean Sandman, not
yeah.
you.
Well, when Thomas Soroka said that guy's probably been in the Orthodox Church for 10 minutes and probably isn't even actually in it, I think he was probably spot on.
Yeah. Yeah, and he said like because he watched one of the videos because I shared it with him because I kind of get his thoughts on like this is Sandman, this is what he's saying, and he was talking about the canons, and he's just like, wow, that is even worse than I thought. Like he has a Protestant understanding of what canons are. Like he might as well just be a Protestant. Like he has no understanding of how Orthodoxy works, you know, and he just might as well be silent on it if that's the case. But for him to talk like he is with like that tone of authority is actually dangerous.
Yeah, well, I think that's all he wants is to act like he has a tone of authority. Like that's what he's looking for. He's just looking for the ego pump, I think.
Oh, I need to tell you, Saturday, oh, hi. Saturday, Tim was street preaching again. This time it was just towards the cars again. Not towards any actual person.
Yeah.
Jess, what do you do if he street preached where you live?
Who street preached here? Him?
Tim.
I guess I'd buy him lunch or dinner or something, but I probably wouldn't want to hang around and listen to him preach.
I tried warning you guys about that guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, Dustin, we talked about it before the last time he was in, and I confronted him when you were in there and you were making fun of him.
I know, but I tried warning you guys. I really did try to warn you guys.
A rare correct one on your part, Dustin.
Rare correct. How many times do I try to warn you about
I'll
anything,
chalk
Daniel?
one up. When's another time? You tell me an example.
I can't
When's the
think of
last time
another
you've warned
time
me
I've
about
ever
something?
warned you about anything except for Sandman.
Yeah.
He's pretty awesome.
That's it. That's all I can think of. So yeah, I'm 100% out of 100%.
So that's a 1 out of 1 for now.
That makes me 100%. I'm batting 1,000.
That's what the math says.
He went back and deleted all the other stuff. Now he's
Who did?
I said he just went back and deleted all the other stuff. So now he's correct. I was being sarcastic, Daniel.
Oh, okay, I got you. I was like not on the same wavelength.
Either Dustin?
I think I kept that ice pack on my back too long. That's
I'm on a very loud and insured death machine. What do you need, boss?
I'm not your boss.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. Daniel's your boss.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what? I don't have any. Oh, I do have tail feathers. Okay, we're good.
You guys ever watch Street Beefs?
No.
It's so funny. It's like UFC, but it's in the grass with like chain link and stuff. And there's this fighter that goes by the name of Death Sentence, and he's learned everything about fighting from watching like Naruto and Batman, playing Batman Arkham games. And it's hilarious.
Is this a real show?
Do you want to see this? This is amazing.
These are real people fighting each other?
Fighting each other. It's so fun.
And he learned from video games and watching anime?
Yeah, he learned from video games and watching anime. Hold on.
I bet he's good at it. That's how you get good at fighting.
It's so funny. Hold on. Let me put it up here so I can control it.
He's like, this isn't even my final form. Let me just charge up my ki.
There you go. I'm gonna mute it for the music. Is it the connection, Logan? Do you have to go to it and do it?
I have no idea. What about Daniel J. Newman II the Third? Oh, there he is.
I'm the first.
Oh.
There's only ever been one Daniel J. Newman ever in all existence.
No, there's a lot of them.
I'm the number one.
I tried to search for your podcast because I thought it was already out, and there's so many on Spotify with your name.
Yeah, that's May 11th, so that's the Sunday.
He's only 5'9". I thought he was taller than that. Huh.
It's Everyday Orthodox at 7 a.m. I mean 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Who interviewed you? Is it the lady that like organized the singles thing?
She didn't interview me yet. It's going to be on Sunday.
Is it going to be her?
I imagine it's going to be live.
Is it going to be her interviewing you?
Yeah. Oh well, it's not her. It's not the same woman that organized the singles retreat. It's another person from Ancient Faith.
Okay. Here, Logan, see if you can play it because I'm having it just keeps buffering. Here, I put it in the private comments, the private chat. See if you can play it because it's your stream. It might connect better.
Connect 4. Remember that game. Oh yeah.
Mute it when it plays music.
And Cal, I'm sponsoring a dude. Yeah, that guy. Check out his merch. on EVDO. And I'm gonna end this in
2 seconds. He always says that.
Here we go. You ready?
Why is it so choppy?
It's showtime. Fight!
We can't even see what's going on because it's so choppy.
Yeah, this is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Abort.
Anyway, yeah, you can just turn it off, Logan. I don't think it's gonna work. So that guy.
So I gotta pick that up.
Yeah, that
point.
guy is
Yeah.
like so ridiculous, but he really truly believes in himself, and he like thinks because he studied anime and he studied like Mortal Kombat characters and stuff that he can fight. And it's been this whole
apparently he can.
And he's actually done okay because he's so aggressive. And he just like jumps across the void because he says that's what Batman would do. Batman would just close the distance. So he just literally like jump kicks into people and starts trying to hit them and gets taken to the ground a bunch. And so like he hasn't won any fights. He's lost all his fights except for the most recent one. But the craziest thing is, do you know who Demetrius Johnson is? He's like a world champ MMA fighter. He was in like the smallest weight division in the UFC, and he just ran the whole division and like broke a bunch of records. And then the UFC is like, there's no one else to fight you, so I guess we're getting rid of the division. And then he went to a different place. And this guy does breakdowns of like different fights, like random bums fighting each other, and he talks about like what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And he started just breaking down all the death sentence fights. And and DJ's fans started messaging him and saying, train death sentence, like fly him out and train him. And so there's a 3-part docuseries where Death Sentence goes and trains with Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson. And each one of them's like 45, 55 minutes long. And it is some of the best YouTube I've ever watched. Because he's so ego-filled and he thinks he can do anything, but reality just keeps slapping him down. But he keeps trying. He still believes in himself. He keeps failing and failing and failing. But he's like, I'm the best. So good.
Son Goku wouldn't have given up, and neither can I.
Yeah, he's always citing Dragon Ball Z and stuff too, like all the anime. It's hilarious, and they nerd out.
Dragon Ball Z,
yeah, it's just that whole arc. I think I'm going to on my channel. I'm gonna make a playlist for Death Sentence that goes from Death Sentence first fight to when DJ interviews him on his podcast, and then like all of that, and just put it all in chronological order, because it would literally be 8 hours, like maybe 8 hours of content, but it would be just must watch. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, just character, like I think there's something about a person that's just like really them, right? And I think it's so endearing. Like that's really what that guy's like, and he's not ashamed of it. Like he's like, this is who I am. I'm crazy. I think I can beat anyone, but I can't even fight.
That guy get ripped apart by Dustin. Dustin,
I would like Dustin. Would you go on Street Beefs?
Are you there, Dustin?
Oh my gosh. Dustin, if you ever go on Street Beeps, we'll have a Gangster Ghost watch party and watch it live. It'll be so awesome.
Oh, totally. I'd be there.
I would like send money for travel expenses to watch someone from our group go fight on Street Beefs.
I think
that would be amazing.
Dustin would rip them all apart with his bare hands and his teeth.
One time I saw this, I think he was like Chinese or Japanese, and he just did like the bob, like the training dummy that's like a dude's torso. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen it before? It's like pink and it's just like a buff dude torso. And this Asian guy, all he did was train like doing like striking with that. And he came in and he was like 56 years old and he beat a 24-year-old real fighter. It was so cool. Just from practicing on a dummy.
I think you could
pretty cool.
take them all on.
Yeah, it seems like a cool idea for a show. Maybe I'll check it out sometime.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's just it's kind of like backyard wrestling, but it's backyard MMA, but it's real, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nasty knockout on that channel.
I'm probably going to do a stream at some point here, and it's going to be, I think, on Isaiah, because today is the day for Isaiah.
Isaiah?
Isaiah the prophet.
What about Daniel?
Are you talking about Isaiah H?
Isaiah.
Isaiah H.
My special talent is how to pronounce Worcestershire. Worcestershire.
Daniel, have you ever thought about becoming? Have you ever thought about becoming a reader chanter at your church? Like, I feel like you do it enough, right?
So the thought has occurred to me and a few parish members, but I don't know exactly what I want to do, because like there's part of me that wanted to join the chorus, and there's part of me that wants to read, and there's part of me that wanted to do the bells, but
I feel like you should be a chanter.
I don't know. Well,
I mean, you care.
This is the thing.
You care enough, like, to learn so much. Like, you probably know more than I do, and you like.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I'm just trying to be humble. I mean, I don't read as much as I should. I know you read a lot. You read a lot of stuff out loud. I mean, you do all this stuff on your show, so I know you probably have read more stuff than I have altogether. But I don't know. I think you'd be a good chanter, because you're probably willing to like learn all the things. And then like a lot of people I've seen who become chanters also become teachers and help do some of the Sunday school stuff, help out with catechism, things like that. So it's a great way to bring people into
Catechism is something I'd be interested in doing for sure.
Yeah.
And what's nice about being laity is that I kind of get to do all of these things. Like I get to dance along with the choir. Just I do it higher up in the church, so that there's a balance of voice of sound.
So wait a minute. Are chanters and readers tonsured or whatever?
The readers are. The readers. That's yeah. And so like laity can read. Like I've read.
Yeah.
I got to read like during Pascha, which was amazing. Yeah. I love every chance that they give me to read. I take it, and I relish it. And but so yeah, there is an actual there's an actual position of reader, and it's supposed to groom you, sort of, not
Deacon.
to use the weird baggage for groom, to become a deacon, which eventually become a priest. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have enough deacons. We need more deacons at my church has over 1,000.
Every deacon becomes a priest, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, but you know what I've heard is in Orthodoxy, really, there should be a priest per 100 people. And that's never going to happen. You only know about 100 people, really. You know what I mean? Like you can perform the liturgy, you can take confession, but you can only really know about 100 people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We need more clergy. We definitely have a clergy shortage, and like we have a subdeacon at our church that we would love to promote to deacon, but he's not married yet. We don't want to do that to him,
Right.
And that's another thing, right? With like, you can be a reader without having to get married first, which is nice. You know, you can be a subdeacon without getting married. But if you become a deacon before you get married, you're closing that door.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about it, doesn't it?
Well, for me, myself, I'm happy being laity. I honestly am.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I think people don't put enough, like, dignity and respect in laity. Like, it's a crucial member of the church. In fact, arguably, it's the most crucial member of the church. And when we're out in the community, we're supposed to be bringing the church with us. And you're the priest, you're the choir master, you're the reader, you're everything built into one when you're out in the community. And you know, when you're in the church, like, you're just as much as part of Christ as the priest is. You know, so the thing about getting one of these roles is that you're becoming a server. You know, you're humbling yourself to serve others, and that's what you're going to be doing. You know, for the rest of your life is basically sacrificing yourself for others. It's a beautiful thing, but it is also quite the privilege to not have to do that and also still be part of the church. Something we should really be grateful for, you know. I think.
No, I agree. I mean, like for me, it's I've been asked to be the photographer for certain functions, and I've turned it down because I'd rather be present for the service.
The president?
No, present. Like be at the service and not be worrying about a camera.
I just joking with you.
Okay.
But Jess, you're a good young man. How you been? I
You're a
hope you're
good young
feeling
man.
good and stuff. Not Jess?
Gangster, I want to tell you something. We're all proud of you.
We're proud of you, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing a great job.
Oh, you too. Oh, and I ask you
The
something.
world is brighter because it has Logan in it.
Oh, thank you.
We're all called to be lights in the world.
Some are just a little bit brighter.
Oh, thank you. Just like you and Daniel. You're both nice young people.
I try.
We're all proud.
I try. I'm the worst sinner I know.
I could be younger.
Just like Dustin. But yeah, that one video is crazy. I have a giant brother Pike up there holding out of the church looking around. It's just crazy. Is that crazy? What do you think of that, Jess?
Sorry, I was trying to order my child to go get me snacks, but she's being resistant right now.
Child, fetch me snacks.
Retrieve the snacks.
You came from my loins.
I brought you into this world, and I will take you out.
Your last name, are you, I need to, yeah, this July I'm going to go to Universal Orlando, Florida, and then after that go to this country concert, and then to Boston, and then to the UK.
Are you going to Universal Studios to audit if they have enough queer representation?
No, that would be
That's what I do everywhere I go. I make sure there's enough queer representation.
I hate it. I hate my job of being a DEI agent. I'm the last one too. Elon Musk said I'm allowed to stay. He said you have to do it all now, and I said I have to do it all.
I wasn't doing anything anyway. What did you think?
Yeah. He's like, and now you got to personally go to each one. So I'm constantly traveling. I'm constantly going to this place, that place, auditing if they have enough diversity.
Is there enough? I just call them and ask them if they have enough diversity.
Hey, do you guys got enough? Enough what, sir? Who is this?
Diversity?
Do you got enough of that diversity?
Do you have equitable inclusion?
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Is there a rainbow of people at your establishment? Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Look
We
around.
don't check on exact numbers anymore. We just check that there's some diversity going on.
If you were to describe the people in the room right now, would you say for at least a few of them that they're not normal, that they're a little weird? All right, good. Then you're fine.
Do any of them have brightly colored hair? Multiple piercings?
Some of them seem kind of like out of their mind. All right, good.
Do they get
All right,
upset when
just
you
making
say
sure.
ma'am or sir?
Do any of them do this? Oh, sorry.
You just text them that picture. Do you have anyone like this?
See.
Oh, sorry. That would be Dustin. And Dustin agrees. He does the same thing. He agrees that's him.
You know what's going to happen one day, Gangster Ghost, if we let it, or if God lets it, I should say. One day, you're going to be able to use your mind to kind of just like show memes at will. Like, kind of just like you do on StreamYard, but you're going to be able to do it in the augmented reality that people are plugged into, like the Matrix. And you'll be like, this is what I mean. And you can just like play like almost like episodes of The Family Guy when they do the flashbacks constantly. You just be like, oh, this is what I meant. And you can just do like a little meme. And that's how we'll communicate, like hieroglyphics.
Would people look anything like this?
That's exactly what's going to happen. That is going to become the conversation, Gangster Ghost. We're going to stop using words, and we're just going to become dumber and dumber people until eventually we're just grunting and showing pictures to each other. We're like, And
Speaking of that,
it's like somebody with a smile on their face is like,
Hi, Clay.
Hey.
Gay R15.
I mean,
Clay R15.
What's up? I'm at the car wash getting my sundowner on.
Yeah, Dustin
Hey,
likes
are
to
you
call him
taking
gay
any
R15.
precautions to make sure your child doesn't become a communist?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You better.
If my kid was a communist, you know how disappointed I would be? If she's like,
I think about as disappointed as a father could be in your situation.
she comes home, she's just like, communism was just never implemented right, Dad.
Be like, do you remember this lady named AOC? I think she had a lot of good things to say.
She's on here listening to Deviant Outcast in Sweden, and then she starts spewing her communist filth.
And then you have to tell her about how we pay for Sweden's military.
Yeah, I'm like, we made that by like giving them free stuff.
I love how Trump did that when he was talking to the Canadian Prime Minister, and he was like, you guys don't really have to have a military because we're there for you. And
just become a state. You might as well be. Like, no, Trump. We want to be a sovereign nation still. Are you sure?
Are you sure? Because it's really cool over here.
Yeah,
got,
your
lots
economy
of
would
money,
improve.
and we can, we don't have to tax our people half to death. Wouldn't that be fun? Don't you think your citizens want less taxes?
Is this true?
We noticed that you sold a bunch of your land to China. We can deal with that.
I have a question for you three. What do you think about Harry's
Clay looks
emails?
like a leprechaun now. A gay leprechaun.
Hillary's emails, it's pretty ridiculous to think that Jesus would be a communist, given that communists kill Christians.
I think that thing about self-thinking, that was just to that one guy.
Yeah, but communist Jesus is dictatorship and the collective, so.
It's not the Bible I read.
Yeah, that one thing.
He was not a communist.
He was just tell that one guy to do that to test him. To sell all his things.
You're talking about the guy, yeah, that was a very specific situation, Logan. So, the reason he told that guy in particular that is because that guy was way too attached to his stuff.
That, and also maybe, and I'm not, I'm not sure if this is, well, I'm just going to say it. I think maybe also because he was a little full of himself. Because he's like, I kept the law since my birth.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I already basically did everything that you said. And he's just like, well, there's one more thing you can do.
It'd be like if somebody was like, oh, I've suffered more than anyone for the faith. And Jesus was like, would you like to climb up here with me? You want to be up here too? The cross.
You see,
The only apostle that was spared of a terrible death was John, who actually had the courage and the compassion to see him on the cross.
Hello.
Oh, guess who's here?
Aiden. And Hillary's emails. Hillary's emails don't come in here with some Jesus was a communist propaganda.
Oh,
I'm not having it.
The Bible, the New Testament is communist propaganda for you?
I'm trying to maintain a good mood. I'm keeping it light.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll have to cut all of that short.
Hold on.
Because I'm here
all
to
the
do it now.
collectivists are here.
I'm here to do it now.
Let's say it.
To
So what,
everyone.
Don't do it, Aiden.
what part
That
of
in
the communist
3
doctrine says to kill?
Seize the
We're going
means.
to be doing
Can you hear
the
me?
next show.
Seize the
I've been
means.
unboxing.
My
I've been-
mic is messed up.
Seize the
I've been
means,
unboxing a lot of
comrade.
communist guns lately on my channel.
Oh, that's sweet. I got a couple.
Because
That's the only
I've
good
been
thing about
collecting like the
communism
Cold
is the
War.
AKs that came out of it.
Hey,
Dude, I've been
Gigi.
really into the 9x18 pistols lately, like the Makarov
No, they
and
suck.
CCs and
Yeah.
stuff.
No.
Hold on, everybody. Yeah, Aiden.
Let's get this shut down here. All right, I want to get prepped for the next one.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Aiden's doing his show.
Oh, I thought
Aiden,
he
here's
was
a
about to
link to
start
the,
defending communism. I'm thankful now.
Dave Bush is going to do his show too.
Aiden,
Much love,
even though he's
Aiden.
Canadian,
He's being like the Proverbs guys. Can you
Love it,
please
Aiden.
shut this
even
down?
though he's
Love it,
Canadian, he
Aiden.
hates communism.
Aiden, you can't do a show because I'm going to do a show. You can't do it at the same time
That's
as
too
me,
bad.
actually.
So I guess you're gonna have to not do a
Against
show
the rules.
tonight then.
I guess whichever one's more popular will get more views.
Thank you, everybody, for
See you,
joining.
everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, God
Hasta la
bless.
vista.